everyone. Welcome to Roleplay Cafe. I am Jason. Next to me is Dell. We're on the face cam thing. We've got David with us tonight. We've got Todd, and we have Mr. John. And this is Symbaroum Session 7. I have Apophis. Is that correct?
I have Apophis.
Apophis.
Apophis. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is
part 2.
I'm sorry to hear that. You have Apophis. What is that? Is that a boil?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's contagious, but we're online, so it's not virtually contagious.
I have Apophis.
It's not a computer virus.
It's bad.
I've got a bunion.
All right. Take it away,
okay.
Dale.
Okay. I trust that you've, Jason, I need you to roll temp corruption right now with a 1d4.
Oh, 1d4, temporary corruption?
Yeah.
4.
The last recap.
4.
Oh, yeah. Scratch it in.
Now my actual corruption is threshold's 5, so I'm at 4 already. Whoo, shida.
Oh wow, yeah.
Okay, so right now temp is 4. All right.
Temp is 4. There was, I believe, what did you roll, John? As far as your temp corruption for the start?
Yeah, you had us roll after the session. I got a 2, and I added
Okay.
I got all of it reduced during the session, so now I'm at 2.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so as long as everybody rolls, that's what we're starting with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last when we left off, and Jason, I'll weave you in here in a second, but the other guys climbed into an orifice in the side of this cavernous tunnel, for lack of a better definition.
I don't like the way that sounds.
It's not the tunnel of love. It is not the tunnel
Hold on to your hat.
Orifice. When you say orifice, that's not. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, whenever they came in there, now they've got a little bit of lighting that's filtering through the watered membrane that is filtering through that lighting from the light source that illuminates somewhat inside the tunnel, which is casting like dim, flickering light inside of this little cavern that they find themselves that they crawl into. And whenever they crawled in there, there was this mound in the middle, and they were hit face first with this putrescence, this smell that Malleus. There was a little bit of a recollection there that settled in as far as the smell itself, and this thing hunched over in the center of this cavern creaked and slid around and looked at them on the mound that it was on, and they saw this for lack of a better word, bandage wrapped across its eyes, and there were blood spots where the eyes were, but that right in the center of his forehead, it split open and a third eye popped open wide. Now this thing is about a foot taller, or a whole head taller than Big Lug, which is John's character, his ogre ranger. It's gangly, unwieldy. It's pretty massive in its dimensions. And when it popped open his eyes, it glared at you, and you saw the little luminescence. But then you hear it slosh and slide down this pile that it's on, and it hits something damp around the base of the pile. But you can tell that there's dripping water in here. So there's a layer of thin water across the thing, and you hear it slosh forward and slap the water as it groans. Now, it's coming seemingly right in your direction as the size, the silhouette of it has grown somewhat with each step, and it's been a couple of steps. Now, Taro, you were coming out of a situation at the depths of some kind of a dream. The last you remembered, you were behind the party as you entered the briar, some dense briar, and there was fog every which way. Your party was in front of you. You got lost for a second, then all of a sudden you went out. Something clacked you side of the head, and this is where you wake up right now. You're halfway encased in some kind of like a mud-like cocoon is halfway up your body.
Mm-hmm.
that you can feel and you can stretch. You're somewhat restricted on the lower end of your torso, but it seems that you still have you can feel that you still have your gear on you when your weaponry points into your side, and your eyes. Of course, you've had them closed, but when you look out, you can see that big mountain. He had been. What seemed to wake you up was there's a tugging on you. When you wake up, and when your eyes opened up, it's like whatever was tugging on you, it kind of let you go and shifted away from you, and you see it turn around, but you can see the silhouette, almost haloed silhouette of some light source behind it.
Okay.
Very dim and whatever it is, as it slides off, it's receding from you somewhat, and you hear the echoing.
Are my arms free?
Yeah. You're well halfway up. They were halfway down, but you could easily kind of work them out and break off the caked up mud around your side.
Okay.
So anyway, it's in your corner. He's lumbering. This thing is lumbering toward
well, I'm just going to try. I'm going to try to break out of this thing, this cocoon.
Okay, just roll your strong.
You would have to say strong, wouldn't you?
Yeah, just run it base. It seems like a newly
strong. No. I'm wiggling around here. No.
You can try to wiggle your way out. It may take you a little bit. You can tell you'll still be able to wiggle out, but to get any purchase and kind of wiggle your way up and out of this, because you're somewhat vertical.
Okay.
It's going to take a little bit of movement before you can get purchase and pull yourself out, but you should be able to do that within a turn. All right.
Okay.
Now, you other guys, you hear this thing approaching you, and behind you, you hear the echoes of the moans, the bass-like chanting that is coming up from the empty vastness of the area that you just left of that tunnel-like cavern.
Right. Okay. Wait. Okay. I got to remember now. We went through a waterfall, right?
Well,
yeah.
That was
kind of
right, but it was actually the gravity changed as we went through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're in the cavern beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And on y'all, gravity kept switching. Like when you dove down and you resurfaced at the bottom, it was like you were just face surface, and you're looking, up from your location. You're looking at this inside of this huge tower, about 40 foot wide diameter, right?
Okay, we're inside the tower, looking up.
Well, that was in the last episode. You swam to the edge of it. You pulled yourself up out of the water onto the wall, the surface wall, right. And the gravity shifted as far as where you were, and you were able to stand up with the vertical wall of water at your back that you just exited out of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get that? And then you walked along, and you found that was your character. Cabello noticed that there was no goblinoid or arachnid. After a time, creatures crawling in and out of that particular hole, and it was a hole sufficient enough where Big Lug could enter too, where the other ones were smaller entrances. There was about 5 or 6 of those you saw. So y'all decided to pull yourself up into there, and that's what you saw when you entered. Was that bulk of a creature?
Did we see Taro or
no?
We don't see any of these cocoons or anything anywhere.
Well, I mean, right now you're fixated on this thing, and your eyes are adjusting. Now you can roll if you're assessing the situation, of course. So roll your vigilant.
Yeah, I'd like to see what else, if possible.
Yeah, just at a -2. It's rather dim in here.
Lurking in the shadows of this. Yeah, okay.
Very poor.
Okay. Yes, did it.
He did.
Yeah,
Okay.
4.
Well, you do catch like the walls as the light flickers around. You do catch the almost like uh, what is like the bees, little dauber bees or whatever, the little
Mhm.
cocooned up mud cocoons that are kind of placed haphazardly on the walls and whatnot like that. You do see some figures inside them, and some of them are fully cased up like eggs.
Mm-hmm.
You do catch someone behind this monstrosity that's approaching you. This that seems to be fighting to get out of it,
Mm. Okay.
but you can't really
Uh,
discern who it is.
oh yeah, I understand. Yeah. I Malleus will, of course, pull his weapons out, and he'll hiss to his companions and say, "Well, we either deal with this thing ahead of us or the things behind us. So, what say you?"
Forward, I say, says Fiddler.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And Big Lug readies a spear.
Okay.
Is this thing like lumbering towards us, or is it moving at a pretty good pace?
Oh, it's lumbering. When it
Okay.
slid off that pile of excrement that it was on, just to be frank with you, because you were downwind of it, it just hit
We'll
you
never get
full
through a
in the face.
Symbaroum session without excrement.
I was gonna say, do we see Shig anywhere in here?
Maybe, but
I think
more
it's
than
Dale's
any-
favorite word, actually.
more than anything. Yeah, and I'm trying to ramp up the feces, but we'll get there someday.
This time with more feces.
When I'm gonna level up with more, extra feces. Anyway, roll your quickness right now.
Okay.
All right,
Uh, let's see.
just straight.
Hey,
Yeah,
straight
just
quickness.
straight up right now.
Okay, so I got a
All
6,
right,
so I succeeded.
passed.
Pass.
Okay. Okay, maybe I should have did something as far as rolling for vigilance, but nevertheless, you passed it. You passed it, and you hear and almost feel more than hear this starting breeze as this thing that was dragging its back arm grabs a pile of it in his hand, and then
Oh,
you
boy.
hear it swinging around
Oh boy.
and letting go, and then
What?
these piles of excrement are flying through the air and in your direction, right?
Okay.
So you duck underneath there and they fly over you,
Mm-hmm.
and this thing is picking up speed and running toward you. Very guttural sound and high pitched. It sounds, guttural into a ratcheting pitch to a scream, and it's charging. Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm going to plant my spear in the attempt
Nice.
to receive its charge and
Okay.
impale it right in the torso.
Good.
Okay. See if you can. Hope you can find some firm ground to plant this in.
A foot.
just joking. There's enough crevices and whatnot like that that the water's eating through.
It's
Where you can
just
find something to brace it.
some
Yeah,
dry
vulgar foot.
NPCs I can plant.
Yeah. But anyway,
I've got stiletto that I could use against it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all-
You better spend some of that experience you got and buy some abilities, buddy.
It's great.
Mhm.
How much experience did we get last time?
It's coming in. If any of you want to throw,
Four
Yeah.
Four?
or two.
Well, you haven't. I don't think you've spent any. So sorry.
So
Jeff,
I
go
don't.
ahead.
I don't even know how much I've got.
Because I think we
Oh,
got
geez.
I think we got 8 from David's game, didn't we?
Yeah. I
Plus-
think so, yeah.
Okay. Let me.
You got.
you guys
got
had
some-
4 from the first
the first
one.
part. Yeah. So you
Okay.
got. You can do something with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was purposeful to kind of bump you up.
Yeah, because of that excrement that was coming. So-
Yeah, you ducked
Okay.
that. That was sort of kind of his, warning volley.
All sign. Yeah. Yeah.
But he's coming in. There's what is your quickness, each of you? Go in that order, and you can do what before he arrives.
I got a 13.
I've got 13.
Mhm.
I've got a
2.
10,
Okay.
but I believe it's modified by my armor.
So drop it
I
down
have
2 or something.
I have the wolf skin, so I think it drops down to.
Yeah, down to 8. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold my action until this impaling happens, and then go from there if possible.
Okay.
If
Well,
I can do that.
he's barreling through, and now Cabela, you what are you doing? You holding your action too?
I'm gonna hold my action because if it impales itself on Lug's spear, then I am gonna come and hamstring it with my sling.
Nice. There we go.
Okay,
Nice.
that's fine. That's fine. Fine by me. Okay. Roll. Let's see if you can, like, plan it and keep. Roll your
Ooh. Okay. No, we can do.
roll your quickness
Okay.
against what?
Ooh.
I haven't done combat yet, so you guys gotta tell
are
me.
you asking just combat?
Yeah. Just combat.
So
I just
accurate, he has to roll his accurate and below based on the beast's defense.
Fence. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
Okay, so I'm trying.
if the monster's defenses or quickness was like a -2, that would be a negative from his accurate, right? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Defense is the creature's quickness minus any armor penalties,
Right.
Yeah,
That's
which
his
is the
defense.
8. Which is the 8.
and that's versus Lug's accurate.
Right. And
Yes.
8 is I don't think that's even
Just take off 2 of your accurate, basically, and
Okay.
then roll that or under.
Yeah, I think it doesn't modify. I think it's a straight roll. I
I
think.
got a 9, so
think.
that would
Let's
just
see,
pass.
8.
nice.
Okay.
I have an 11 accurate, so I should take 2 off of that.
Actually, yeah, you hit. That was a.
Yep.
Actually, you got a +2 bonus. So yeah, you hit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's -2. All right. This thing impales around waist high or thigh, somewhere in that region. So, what's the damage on that for that weapon?
So I have polearm mastery, so it goes
Oh.
from a D8 to a D10,
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
and I rolled a 4. 4.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. 4. It sinks in and scratches through the thigh of the beast at house. He doesn't seem to notice.
Oh boy.
And he gets right to the edge of the lip, kind of steps past you as it jeers off his side, and then it's turning around, swinging his arms at you. Yeah, just doing a 180 basically. Readjust. So
like
it
doing
kind of steps
backstab.
past you. So I'm gonna give you a little bonus for backstab in a way, for the 2 that held.
Yeah, we're gonna flank them. That's what I yell at Cabello.
Yep.
And that'll give us a +2 to your attribute, to your accuracy. And then we'll do an extra D4 damage if we hit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All
So same
that?
modifier for his defense, Dale.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Plus
you
2.
just got to hit with that -2. It's a 6 now. I mean,
Oh,
excuse
okay.
me.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a modified of 17 to hit or under. So first attack. Are there? I can't remember. Are the criticals do anything in this game? Are there criticals in this game? I can't remember.
There are, but I don't.
Okay.
I mean, those are optional rules. I don't know if
Oh,
we're
okay.
using them, but
Okay. Don't worry about it.
There is such a thing.
Okay. I don't think we've been using it. Okay. So that's a 20. That's a miss, and 14 is a hit.
Nice.
So that is 1d8 plus 1d4. So I do 9 points with one attack there.
9 points.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, at this time you catch him as he's trying to spin around, and yeah, what are you hitting him with again?
I've got a long sword and a short sword, but they
Okay.
both do the same damage because of my
Yeah, let's say you
my,
pierce
yeah, my twin attack.
you do a little 1-2 or whatever, and you pierce him with the second as he's spinning around,
Okay.
and his other side, he actually slips on some of the the floor
Mm-hmm.
is very slimy and near the edge there, and he falls down on his back, and you can see him a little bit as as his head gets more into the opening of the chamber, the larger chamber, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's a really large beast or whatever, and this
Does he look like he's maybe from the ogre family, or is it hard to tell?
he looks at this point in time, you see he strikes more of a resemblance to you. Like I said, he's got the bandages across there. Not to you, but I mean, he reminds you of
Cousin.
He reminds you of somebody, and the eye opens up on his, this blinking on his forehead, and he's screaming right now, and he's trying to grab at the edge of the sword you've impaled him with, take it out of his body. Cabela, what are you doing?
Is this guy even larger than Lug? Or is he?
Yeah, he said he was a foot taller.
He's tall. Okay. All right. Okay.
Or
Okay.
a head taller.
All right.
Okay.
Taller. Okay.
I was trying to find out what I could where you do with your experience points. Okay, but
So you just all you need is 10 to purchase. You can upgrade one of your current traits or skills. You can spend the 10 to upgrade one of your attribute scores, or you can use that 10 to purchase a new ability. That's all. You just need 10 to do one of those things. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll take care of that for the next round or whatever. But right now, I'm all over this guy with my stiletto. All right.
Okay.
So I've got 9 accurate, and I got +4 because of David's David did, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
And remember, you do an extra D4, 1d4 damage.
Yep. Okay. So here we go. And I rolled a 9.
Nice.
So that's 13, right? Because of the +4.
No. Well, you roll.
No, rolling under.
You
under,
hit him.
under, right? I hit him.
you're under.
Coordinated.
Yeah, you hit.
Yeah. I'm under.
Yeah,
Yep.
you hit him. Just
Yeah.
roll damage.
Okay. And 1d6
Plus 1d4.
Plus 1d4. Okay. 2 and 3. Okay, 5.
5.
5 total. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you hit him, and it almost just slides off the slickness that is his hide. All right. It doesn't really get any kind of
No, it doesn't. Does it? No.
purchase. No.
Well,
So-
you whittle next round.
He's trying to. Well, next round he's trying to get it. He's trying to get up right now. So he's trying to slip and slide and pull that sword out. So he's prone right now. So if you guys want to, it's going to take him around at least to get up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can
Now,
take advantage of it. Yep.
His back, his head he's fallen. Now everybody's gone on this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Taro, you've managed to get yourself up and out of your mud cocoon, and you've slid out right now. When you see him, you watched him fall as he raced past and falls down. Now, the rest of y'all are looking right down at him. His head's almost off that ledge that you crawled into, the opening. All right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you can see his face more so readily than you could before. All right?
Okay.
Can I
His body-
see? Can I see my colleagues fighting this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
I can
you
see
just
now.
see him.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you can probably recognize them if you take a second to put 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
Yeah, and hear their voices and everything. So
Okay.
you've been the comrades for a while. The rest of you notice that there's a lot of the limbs of this creature. There's a lot of scar tissue, and the libs are somewhat gangly and out of position.
Hmm.
All right. But it's still clambering and kicking and trying to get up right now. So if you want to do another attack, well, it's prone, make it so. You still get a 2 on that bonus wise.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll grab my pike and ready myself. Because I just broke free, right? So I'm just on my feet, getting my weapon out.
Nice.
I will raise my spear up and slam it down into his chest while he's lying prone on the ground.
Okay. Let's roll to see how effective you are getting past his armor, basically.
All right. Oh, rolled a 20 this time.
Oh,
Yeah, those 20s.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you miss him totally. It's from the jumble of so many bodies and trying to find purchase with that many people all in the same area. I suppose, so you just miss him. It goes into the mud right beside his head. But other than that, I've got him at your,
All right.
your
As
mercy.
long as it was mud and I didn't get extra.
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, you could be using it for poison if it's excrement. Anyway.
That's
How'd
true.
you want to go next, or?
Didn't think about that.
I think Todd's putting his son to bed.
Oh, easy. Okay, all right. I'll go. I missed it. Okay, all right. So I'll attack then, Del. So first one hit, second one hit. Actually, okay. So that's 2 times there. So first one
Nice.
does 5. So I don't think I got through his armor on that one. And the second one, 9. I don't know if that one did anything either.
9.
Nothing.
No. Well, you dig into
Little Nick.
you dig into him there.
Mm-hmm.
By this time, he's you nicked him.
Okay.
He's scrambled up and he's slid up onto his side. He's kicked away. I know. I'm gonna give Todd a chance when he gets back here to do a party blow. But this whole time is you've been there. He's repositioned himself where he's standing in that opening that y'all just entered through when he fully rises.
Okay.
So when Todd gets back, I'll let you smack him around or him smack him around. So
Okay.
So armor is like a damage soak. Is that
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, and
yeah.
the monsters generally automatic them out, and we have to roll our armor. So
Okay.
But-
Randomizer.
you can, as a GM, roll the soak for the monsters if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now I do. I won't let John, but since he got that 20, but David, roll a.
Uh-oh. A D4?
No, just roll vigilant. Just
Oh,
roll
vigilant,
vigilant because
okay.
you hit him twice.
Okay.
You've hit him twice, and so you're focused in on,
Okay.
your target
All right.
area.
Straight vigilant coming up, Del, and nope, failure. 15. Nope. Ain't
Okay.
gonna do it.
All right,
Yeah.
that's no problem. Maybe
Malleus is accurate and persuasive and a little quick. That's about that's his focus.
Yeah, Tarot is accurate, quick, very quick, and vigilant. Discreet's
He's
not bad.
vigilant? Okay.
But I raised in my 2. I need 2 more experience points, and I'll raise a third. But I've raised attributes. I haven't added any abilities, so my attributes are higher than everybody else's.
I think that's probably wise. Now that I think about it, yeah.
Well,
because
I mean,
if you can't connect.
As
or
a
do
D20 20 gave me roll under, I think I'm gonna. But I was trying to keep my character very old school, right? Very few abilities.
Yeah.
Now at some point I'll have to get some abilities if the game gets really difficult, right?
Well,
Actually-
you missed last week, so.
actually, David, roll
Yes.
2 damage on that. I was looking at the wrong. He has to be adjusted because this creature is modified somewhat. So you did hit him past his Wait a minute. You
Oh,
rolled
his armor.
a 10
I
and
rolled a
that?
9. I hit him both times this time. The
Yeah.
previous round I missed one, but that
But
was a
what was
20.
damage
So,
total?
9 for the second one and 5 for the first attack, I believe.
Okay.
5 and
All
9.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did scratch him. I get it right.
Okay. Yeah, I can't. For whatever reason, those D8s aren't they aren't helping me out tonight for some reason.
All right.
But
So,
Okay.
how do the versus tests work? Like, it seems like we're like the modifiers that you're saying to apply to your attributes. How does that work exactly? Like, if he
So
has
so you always
D5
roll, and you just need to roll the d20 and below your attribute. However, the versus, like if it's resolute, you don't use its resolute raw score. You use its resolute modifier. So let's say your resolute is an 11, and it's got a resolute of say 6 with a +2. You would roll a 13 and below. So you add its modifier to your resolute, or subtract its modifier from your resolute.
Yeah.
But the raw score just tells you what the modifier is. Does that make sense?
I
Yeah,
think so.
what you're rolling
Yeah,
against.
so-
And
in a versus,
Right. Now, if
Yeah.
if the GM says to you this is a -2 difficulty, you just subtract 2 from whatever score he tells you to roll, and then you subtract 2. So that's if it's like a test. But when you're against the beast, for instance, it's your accurate versus its defense, and its defense is its quickness modifier, or armor, or it might have a special
which is
ability
armor.
modifier, right?
yeah.
So
but I mean, some of them go right up against. Like if you're trying to sneak around, you can use your discreet against somebody's vigilant to see if you're. And if their vigilance, 10, it's a break even. There's no modifier either way. But if they're 11, then it's a -1 that that drops your
makes it
chances
tougher
down
for you.
1 less.
Yeah.
So you could be 13 with a -1, it brings down 12 or less. So it just
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
The easy thing to remember is you always roll the d20, and you always want to roll low. Right?
right. Oh yeah,
That's
I
the
understand
easy
that
part.
Yeah, it's just the versus part.
Mhm.
So I had no idea that there were modifiers, and I just looked in the book, and it's in a tiny little
Yep.
Yeah.
Corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sidebar in the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
but-
notice that while I was making my character.
Yeah,
So-
but you don't use modifiers, so you don't need to know them. But
but
those modifiers-
So those only apply to when
Right.
I'm doing a roll
correct. But
against somebody.
right.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the monster blocks actually tell you what the modifier is. So it has its raw scores, but it'll tell you also what its modifiers are. So you don't have to look. So it might say its strength is 15, but it'll say beside it -5, which would be a bad thing if you were in a strength test with a
Right,
monster, right?
it's
So, I mean,
15
it
as
looks
opposed
like
to
that
yours. So-
modifier is just 10 minus the attribute. So-
Exactly, bingo. But
Yeah.
that's all it is. 15
Yeah.
is -5. If it's 5, it's +5.
Right.
It gives you plus more.
Yeah.
So it just goes back
But
and forth.
the modifiers never affect us. I mean, we don't use our modifiers. We use our raw
Yeah.
score.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand.
It's kind of weird. It's not weird. It's just it's in the
Different.
character. I think it's in the character creation section, which is like, but we don't really need it. But I think it tells you that because it also tells the DM if something's difficult, that's the modifier. You would say, wow, this is a 15 difficulty. Oh, that's a -5 to the character.
Mhm. And then it kind of gives you an idea, like based upon your stats, like if you're got a 10 and something, that's about average,
Right.
roughly.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's why I was making that sliding scale reference. 13
Yeah.
versus 15 is just pop 2. He's
Yeah,
2
yeah.
more than you or 2 less. But Todd, Cabello,
Okay.
you got that free attack. You get a +2 on it. He was prone. He was trying to get up this turn. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to take Adept for my tactician. I should have
Sweet.
remembered that too. So I use Cunning for initiative and for
Oh,
Nice.
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 There you go.
defense. Okay.
There you
So I
go.
rolled a 2.
Nice.
That's
That's
Sweet.
it.
Okay, roll your damage. Roll your damage.
Okay, hold on. Is the +4 still apply?
Plus 1d4.
Yep.
That still apply? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Flanking him. He's down. He's trying to get up. So we got advantage. That's what.
Yeah,
that is.
he's right at that entry point.
Six altogether. 2 and a 4.
Okay.
2 and a 4. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Still,
This is the second time you tried to hit him, and it's just
Yeah,
it's
I
kind of
know.
sliding off of him. But I want you to roll vigilance and see if you can discern something. Okay. Just roll base. Vigilance.
Yep. Hold on. I got a 10, so I just rolled an 8. Yep. Got it.
Okay, you got it. Well, you notice that when Malleus stuck in the sword, the beast howled and fell, and it withdrew. When he's clambering up, it seems that wound is closed in on itself.
No.
It was there.
Oh, the beast heals quickly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Looks
So-
like more than our normal weapons to defeat this.
Yeah,
creature,
or
right?
or something to take him out.
Something, yes.
Okay, but he's reared up right now, and he's got his back to the entrance of where you all came into the room here. So,
Very well.
now as far as he's going to go after, I think I'll roll this. I'll 4-yard. There's my dice. Crazy. Somebody give me a roll of one. Wait a second. A D6. Okay.
I'll do it.
1.
1.
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
That's Malleus. Okay. He's going right after Malleus.
Yay.
Taking a swing. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I know 2 of you guys rolled it. So
Remember
I
that,
guess there you
gents. 1. 1 is what we want to say. 1.
It's rolling quick, right? Which is essentially defense, right? No, roll you quick.
go. Oh, okay.
He's coming at you right now with his swing of his big arm.
Okay.
Trying
My
to club
defense
you.
is 13. So, what is that? That's a
There's no modifier on that.
no modifier on the 13.
Straight 10. He's straight 10. Okay.
Oh, he's
Exactly.
straight 10. Okay, so then,
That's what it means. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Failure.
Failure. Okay. He clubs you. I mean,
Mhm.
fairly freaking hard.
Mhm. And
Now-
my armor takes. I absorb 1 point. So let me
1
have it.
point. Oh my God.
Yeah,
All
let
right.
me have it. Get the crushed vertebrae here.
Yeah.
Beat up pretty good here lately. Okay.
Here's whole. It is.
And what is my wound threshold? So he's gonna go above my wound threshold.
Yeah. Well, it's 8, but I want you to do
Okay.
that and then roll
So
1d4 for corruption.
For
too.
corruption. Okay, so I took 7, which stuns me. So Malleus goes down
Ooh.
with a forearm shiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing's no joke, you know.
And 2 temporary corruption, right, Dale?
Oh yeah, add 2
Okay.
on top of your.
Okay. Where is that? Oh boy. Okay, that was there. Okay. All right. So yeah. So Malleus with a grunt goes down like a sack of potatoes
Ooh.
and a thump.
Jeez.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm not. He's moving, but he's down.
He's moving in agony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's in pain. Oh yeah. He's in pain.
squirming.
Okay.
Okay. Well, next, you're closest to him, McGowan.
All right. I will. So I'm gonna go see to him. Okay. See if there's anything I can do to help him.
Still within reach.
Oh, he's right beside you. He fell at
Right,
your
okay.
feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
are
Don't
you
get-
okay? Are you okay?
There's nothing you can do, Todd. Just
You're like, time out.
Damn it. man down. Hold
Man
on.
down.
Man
Yeah.
down. Man down.
Bail. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wait a minute. What weapon was he using?
He was using his freaking arm. This thing
Yeah.
is naked, and it is doing nothing but clubbing you with it.
No, I'm talking about David's character, Malleus.
Oh,
Malleus
he's got a
is
short
down,
sword
Sword.
and a long
Yeah.
sword.
Mhm.
He's got
You got a
dual
long
blade.
sword. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're down. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick up. I'm gonna pick
Now-
up your blade, and
that's a new sword.
I'm gonna swing it at the creature.
Just
Okay,
put it in
yeah.
perspective. When he hit him for 8. Just I mean,
Yeah, well, I know I'm not doing any good with what I got, and so it's like, yeah,
Oh, I got you. I got
you
you.
know,
I got you.
couldn't
Okay.
hurt, right?
I got you.
So,
I got you. Yeah, you're
so
right.
I'll heave up his blade, which I'm sure is, a little hefty for me,
Okay.
with a strength of 7, and I'm gonna swing at this creature.
Okay.
Here we
All
go,
right.
and I'm using accurate.
Yeah, use your accurate.
Okay. And sorry, no, wait, that was canted, and it kind of
Accurate. No, add +2 to it.
Did you
Todd.
hear that? Did you
Mhm.
hear what happened out there? Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna roll
It
that
fell
again.
on the
Okay, I rolled a
ground.
16, and no, I only got 14. Sorry, 14. So no.
Well, look, you get a +2 on that.
Okay, that was with the +2.
Oh, okay. Forget it then.
Yeah, so it's
Get I said anything.
swing venomous.
Okay. You swing in the air as you pulling it up, and he's lumbering toward one of you again. But let's see what you got, Big Lug. Oh, no, wait a minute, Taro. What is your quickness?
15.
Okay, let's say Taro's pretty much you can get there about right now if you was doing.
Or are we? So okay.
Because they were 13, they were just on them. So I'm saying you
Okay.
about right now will be.
So I see. I'm adjusting, draw my weapon, and I see this creature smack Malleus prone. So I'll step in to that hole, I suppose. Well, I'm actually behind him, right? Is he facing away from me?
No, he's facing you right now. He's gotten up. They were backstabbing as he got up, and then he turned around, swinging, and slapped
Gotcha.
Malleus down. But his back is to that opening.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to attack him with my pike. +1 precision weapon, so I get a +1 to my accurate. So I need 14 and below. He is still flanked by the ogre, correct?
No. The way I have it in my mind, and it's theater of mind, whenever he charged initially, he stepped past all 3 of them,
Okay.
and then when he turned around,
So
Malleus
so
stepped him to the
technically
side.
my party's between me and it.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. And when it rose up, it's immediately got its back to the opening, and they're in front of it. So they got a attack of opportunity backstab as it was getting up, but it's turned around and slapped Malleus down, and it's facing all 3 of y'all right now
Okay.
with its back to the opening.
Okay. So I'll step over Malleus's body,
Pardon me.
filling the hole,
Pole vault.
and I'll attack him with this pole arm. So I need a 14. Now his modifier. What's his normal defensive modifier?
2.
Okay.
There are 2 on there.
Okay. You're adding 2?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I need a 16 and
lumbering.
below. 15. I hit, and I do
Sweet.
1d8 damage. 1 damage.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh boy.
But I hit.
It's a pinprick.
All that matters is I hit.
All that matters.
That's
You
all
hit,
that matters,
right.
baby.
You
That's-
did hit.
Just don't get hit. Get smacked for 8.
Yeah,
Right.
don't get hit. Yeah,
Bucket load of corruption.
I can
There you
contend
go.
for that. Yeah,
All right.
bells ringing.
There you go, Big Lug.
So
Come with
I have a
SmackDown.
quick question. So the only light that was coming into here, wasn't that the sunlight that was passing through the water, or is there another source of light?
There was. Remember when y'all first got there was an eclipse that was happening, and then
Yes.
that statue had held that radiance y'all couldn't even look at. That's what's
Yes.
filtering down into this cavern, and it's filtered through the water, right? So,
Right.
but you could tell right before the last session when y'all were entering, even it was dimming somewhat as the sky was coming under the eclipse. So it's more of a reddish hue now than a white light. It's going toward that end, right? So it looks like more like
Okay.
a torch light flickers across the area.
So I'm going to try to charge this thing and like, slam into it and knock it further back into the opening in an attempt to get it closer to the that big large open cavern where the water is and the light.
Oh yes, it's immediately got us back to it. When it stepped past y'all and fell down, I said his head was pretty much right in that opening. Okay, so when it scampered up, so who knows? If you hit it hard enough, maybe it will, do something.
All right, what
But anyway,
should I roll?
just add a 2 to whatever you do roll, and roll your accuracy.
Accuracy? Okay.
Or maybe we go for, what are you trying to do? Just
I'm
bull
trying
rush
to
it?
push it back. I'm trying to bull rush it and like slam into it and
Go ahead and
knock
use
it
your
back.
strength, because it's got multiple antagonists that it's dealing with, right? It's a slow lumbering
Okay.
creature, so you could probably. He's about a
Okay,
head
and
taller than you, but
I'm adding 2 to my roll, not to my strength or my strong, right?
no, I mean right now. I mean,
I'm just.
yeah, I'm
You
just
said to add +2. So
add
I'm
2
not
to
sure
your
what-
to your strength. Just roll your strength and
Okay.
under with
Okay.
+2.
I just passed with a 15, so
Okay.
I have a 13 strong.
Nice.
Now, I mean, as far as impact, just roll your natural weapon. I guess that would
Be like a D4 or something.
be the strong.
I can look that up.
I don't know.
He was trying to move it, right?
Yeah.
Kind of unarmed. What would unarmed damage be?
I know.
Well, actually, I think an ogre has a special damage, doesn't he, for
okay.
his physical? I think he does. That might be based on your archetype, though. But I think an ogre has a particular damage for
I'm
physical,
trying to
but I
look
don't
it up
remember.
right now, but
Yeah.
I don't see that on any of my abilities.
Okay, so that might be
Rosebud?
based on your class and not on your
Yeah.
Race.
right. But I don't know
Long
exactly.
live Pariah. Yeah.
Fine.
Doesn't say anything about that.
I might have you roll accuracy first and then
Unarmed.
strength.
Unarmed
is
looks
what I
like it
should
does
do.
a D4.
Right.
There you
That
go.
sounds
Okay.
right. Yep.
Okay, cool.
So you want me to roll that?
Just roll that, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm doing a
I
little
got a
awkward. I
4.
should have had you roll accuracy, then strength. But
Add
I
to
got a
no.
this.
4.
You're doing fine, Dale.
I got a 4.
Quick and-
Okay, you
quick
got a
and
4? Okay.
Yes.
Now, that I would think that would buffet him a little bit, because that's how I'm interpreting it. And you have him successfully pushed out of this opening. He slipped out, his feet from underneath him, slid on his belly, and he's grasping a hold of the sides of this exit. It looks like he's falling into the thing, but he's caught himself. Half of his elbows up. His arm is in. His other arm's trying to keep from fully being pushed out. So and right now you see his head and his half of his chest stuck out of there, right? So at this moment right now, you've been able to kind of knock him out. But as you know yourself, gravity shifts in this situation. Or at least the rest of you do. So, but anyway, you have him kind of prone right now. As a matter of speech.
Excellent.
All right. So I'll let you all go take a round and whatever you want to do with him.
I will. You say he's got his arms like he's trying to hold on to like a swimming pool, like it's.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Okay.
he just slipped out and caught
Yep.
himself and is trying to not fully
right.
exit himself out and trying to clamber and crawl himself back in. Now he does have, like I said, that bandage across there, and he's screaming right now, and his eyes wide open.
Okay. Well, I'll approach and I'll aid this Big Lug. I'll aid Big Lug as if he's physically still trying to push it into the abyss or the water, right?
Yeah.
So I would add my strength to Big Lug if he's still pushing this creature or kicking this creature or whatever.
Yeah, why don't we you can use your pike, and I'll use my spear, and we'll try to like pry his hands
Pry
away
him,
from the.
right? Get out of here, right? Pry him out. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So what do you
Okay.
need, Del? What do you
All
need?
right. We just roll right now. Just roll, both of you roll your accurate to see if you can find purchase, and
9.
then we'll
Yep.
roll.
Yep. 9 for
Okay.
me.
Okay. I got a 13, which would be a failure unless there's a bonus or something.
Well, there is a bonus. There is a bonus. He's scrambling right now. So go ahead and add 2 as well to it.
Okay, that'll be exactly enough then.
Okay.
Nice.
So you both bite into it. I want you to roll your damage too.
Okay. D8.
Yeah.
2.
Our
So-
weapon damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, your weapon damage.
Yeah.
Mine was
I got
2.
it.
So
Got a 7.
nice.
Oh, 7. Yeah, I mean you got a pike, right? Or is it
A spear.
a spear?
Spear and a pike.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 7. You do wrench it up his strength, but you're on his hands. You're on his arm. You know what I mean? So I think at least that bit of leverage, even though it doesn't go past his armor, is enough to rip his hand off. Not his hand off totally, but his hand off the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes flying out a little bit, and you see his body pivot out into the abyss somewhat as it twists, and he's still got his hand on the one. You've got your pike underneath one thumb trying to pull up, but his hands are on the other thing, so he's still holding on a little bit. Either one of you other gentlemen wants a,
Oh yeah, I want to swing Malleus's sword again.
You know, I'm gonna want that back. You know.
Drop it. No, drop it into the abyss.
Yeah.
Swing.
hacking. Yeah, roll your
Here we go.
accuracy.
What are you doing?
20?
Yeah. No, I
What are
Get
you
rolled,
off
doing?
your own hand?
I rolled natural 17, so I'm not going to.
Ooh.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You just throw some sparks out as you miss his
Yep.
hand there. Okay. I guess this gives you time though, Malleus, to get righted.
Okay. All right.
You see.
He'll shake his head and push himself to his feet.
Yeah. At this time, the creature's trying to pull himself back in. It does look like his body shifted out a little bit into the vortex, and now he's trying to pull himself in. And it seems like gravity's retaining him back to the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and he's coming back down, floating back down on his knee. Unless you could do something quick here to, don't let him.
I'm going to take one of my throwing spears and try to throw
Ooh.
it and hit him in the third eye that's open on his
Ooh.
forehead.
Make it so, number one.
man.
Just do it even right now. The -2 isn't, since you're trying to do a called shot with it.
Okay, so I have Sixth Sense, which allows me to use my Vigilance instead of my Accurate,
Make
Nice.
it so.
which is going
Wow.
to be a 15.
Ooh.
Dang.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, I rolled a 19.
Oh,
There
geez.
goes my
What?
spear.
It just,
Damn, and it
Bastard.
sounded so good too. Big
I
leg.
know. It passed him as his head. His body's just twirling around too much for you to find, your target, and it find bullseye, and it goes right past his head as he's still screaming, and that eye is still staring you down. He's giving you the evil eye.
So is he?
So,
I mean, is he actually close enough I can hit him, or is he floating around in this?
His initially he's floating around, but he's pulling himself up with his hand to reground
No,
himself.
not if I cut it off. Here we go.
Come on.
Oh
No.
Everybody's missing.
damn
it's
it.
dark as
Well,
slimy
yeah,
as
right,
Griffin, man.
right.
He's right
Okay.
there.
At the end of this, his knees are going to land on there, and he's going to get some gravity, again. So
Nah, Malleus will sacrifice himself to take it
I
out.
already did.
Don't narrate what hadn't happened yet. He's gonna.
Okay.
Jump into the abyss and grab him on your way down.
Right.
All right.
yeah, okay. I think everybody's gone right now. He's hit his. You hear his knees hit the outside, and his hand pulls back, and then he's shifting his weight, and he's trying to crawl back into it, because this is definitely a shift of gravity to crawl back into the hole, right? So it's not necessarily, Well, actually, what he's doing, he jumps over the hole. You see his body come over the entrance like that, and then his body falls into the room from your vantage point as it's turning, and then he lands inside the room again. So now he's scrambling to get back up. Okay, so he's buffeted past you through the entrance there, and he's landed. If you're quick enough, you can do another roll on him, try to get him again. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, I'm saying when you see his body raise up and he starts to fall through that opening, you can be poking and jabbing and doing whatever you want to do.
He's no longer in our way to the opening.
No, he's came back through that opening.
Right, but he's on the end. Right. So the opening's available for us. He's not in our way.
No. No, if you want to retract, if you want to go back in where you was at or where they were at.
Well, Taro hasn't been. He's been out cold, so he doesn't know where they've been.
He's been out cold.
I don't know where they've been, but.
But yeah, he's come back in here.
Okay, so we
then he's
just
slamming.
finish him off.
Well, if you can get past his armor, yeah.
So is he?
That, yeah.
So he's prone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
As it's attacks of opportunity as he's flying back into the room almost.
All right. Well, Taro with his 15 quickness will turn, and I don't know. It's like he's in one place, then he's in another. So Taro is just turning, and it's like trying to hit a fly with a hot fly swatter, right?
You guys are trying to beat him out of the room, and all of a sudden you see his.
Yeah, Taro misses.
Okay,
that's 2 18s in a row. I swear to God.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's flying past y'all. So take your hits, man. As he's,
Anybody got any other?
I'm gonna swing this sword again.
Still using it, huh? Okay.
Malice is like, give me my sword back. I got dual attacks.
I got an 8.
Nice.
An 8.
Nice.
Oh, you
Finally.
want it back?
Okay, well, roll and see if you can hit. What is an 8? With the negatives, because your strength is only 7, right?
Yeah. So
I'm joking. Go ahead.
I said, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the damage on a sword? It's 8, right?
What is it, Malice? What is it, Dave?
1d8.
1d8. 8. Yeah.
4.
I believe so. Yeah. Oh God,
4.
give it back.
Here.
You just scrape across his back as he's coming in, right?
Yeah,
he's floating past you, and then he lands in a big heap on the floor, and he's sliding like that. As far as Big Lug, you're hitting him when he's coming in.
Sir. I hand it back.
Well, I mean, David, Malice is back up too, right?
Yeah.
But Malleus is obviously wounded, right? I mean, he's hurt.
I'm hurt bad.
I didn't realize you're actually back up. Back to you. No.
All right.
He's about guarding your sword.
So thanks, buddy. Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm
all right, so I'll slash with my short blade here, and that's a 3, so that's a hit, but I only do 4 points of damage there. So
dang. Okay.
I don't think it got through.
Well, I mean, this whole thing, John, it's your turn now.
Mm-hmm.
Big Lug.
Yeah. So we're now between him and that ledge, right? Because he jumped up over us. Did I understand that?
He jumped back into the room that
kind of squirmed or muscled his way past us and got back in.
He actually flew because he jumped.
Oh, like slingshotted. Like slingshotted.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, he jumped above the opening and fell back in there. But then once he got in the room, gravity changed, and now he's falling in a clump into the center of the room.
I got you.
Okay. So I'm just going to, try to jab him with my spear as he starts, crawling through the room. Is he crawling away from us or towards us?
Well, right now I'm kind of like he's passing y'all and then laying in a like before he's fully hitting the ground. So you're getting like free attacks, right?
Okay.
As he's coming in. So
all right.
Up to the point where you hit him, he's probably just hitting the ground.
All right. Can I aim toward? do a called shot again towards that
Yeah,
eye?
yeah, I
Okay.
don't care. You just don't add 2.
All
Well,
right.
actually, add 2 because you gotta almost he's prone now too, and he's
Okay.
get a little bit of a backstab going on.
I passed with an 8.
Nice.
Okay,
So that's going to be D10 damage because of my polearm mastery. And I rolled a 10.
dang.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Now,
Good.
what was you trying to do to him again?
Make that
I was
touch him.
trying to jam my spear into that third eye that was open on his forehead.
And you do it. When he lands in that clump, and his head kicks back to look where you are to get to get his bearing, and his body's starting to shift around, and he's starting to go forward, and then your spear sinks into his pupil area, and it just explodes around the haft of the spear, and he starts screaming and screeching and yanking back. Now, this fluid's flying out all over the place, and he's basically on his back right now, trying to pull this spear out. If he ringed it from you or whatever like that, or if you still got it in your hand, but he's freaking out and he's pulling it out of his eye. He's thrashing on the floor right now. It clatters to the side, but he's wailing in pain, and he's up and he's swinging randomly and still covering his eye. So
can I bear down on the end of the spear and try to force it down deeper before try to fight against him trying to pull it out?
Yeah, try to do. I guess just do do a. Well, you didn't let it go. So do a strong.
Okay.
At a -5.
All right. No, I failed with a 12.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, he rings it out. He's just thrashing around way too much for that, and his arms are wrapped around that pole. But that's what he does. He pulls it out, and it just drops and clatters, and slides up against the pile in the center of the thing. And he's covering he's still slapping his face and covering his eyes, and just kicking his feet and screaming. He's on his back, and he's basically kind of pushing himself over to the corner of the room away from y'all. Is still howling, wailing, and crying. No tears, just just whatever. But yeah, he's smashing some of those little egg-like mud cocoons. Some of the contents have spilled out and fell over him. It seems like some different creatures. Some humanoid, others not so much. And
wait, they're coming out of him?
no, I mean he's cracking them open, just flailing around, being up against the wall. Right? I'm just saying they kind of just falling out of this cocoon like
okay.
mud cocoons and falling over and sliding out and everything. He's just making a mess of things.
Right. And
So,
are they moving?
You can't tell immediately. I mean, you can roll a vigilance and let's see if
Yeah,
anybody.
I'm gonna roll this. Yes, definitely. Oh gosh. No.
No, I'm saying everybody that was in there has already been cocooned up, and they're at it. You don't see anything. Everybody's just sliding out. The pale, pasty, slick, and done for.
Yeah.
Taro will keep my pike at distance while this creature wails, and I'm going to be kind of circumventing the room, looking for an exit out of this room other than this abyss.
Okay, he's crying as you're looking around. His cries turn into this sobbing, whimpering sound, and he's packing his face in the side of this mud as you're walking around. But you do notice there is a couple of 2 or 3 entrances. Some of them in the roof-like area, and some of them are small. There's web-like material coming out of these openings in the top, but right up the little incline, it's like a mudslide down. There is more so of a hole. It looks like it's, it's big enough certainly for everyone, but Big Lug or even this creature to fully get through. Big Lug may have to kind of strip down and go through there like it's some kind of birth canal or something to get out on their edge, but he theoretically make it.
Traumatizing.
I will bark and get everyone's attention and toward this hole, and I'll start scrambling up this mud. I'll put my pike away and use my hands and try to scramble up toward this hole.
Okay. Roll. Let's throw your quickness and let's see.
Quickness?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.
3. Okay. You're doing it very, proficiently. Get to the top. Roll your vigilance while you're doing that. While you're almost at the top.
Vigilance?
If you notice, yeah. See if you notice
11.
something.
Yes. Ooh, wait. Let me double check. Any modifiers?
Just straight up.
Okay, so I hit it on the button. 11. So I made it.
Okay. You do, like I said, this web-like material that's coming out of these 3 other little holes in the topper area. You do see some kind of movement in there. A multi-legged creature. The legs pop out of the hole. One of them.
As I'm moving up toward it.
Yeah. No, it's like up you. You're moving more or less up the top corner of like a wall, right? But right on the ceiling area are like 3 holes, and the one off to your immediate right, a little bit back. When you was climbing up, you noticed that these appendages came out of this, this opening.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but not the opening I'm headed for.
No.
Okay. So do I make it to this opening?
Yeah, you make it to the top. Yeah, you make
Okay.
it to the top and spill in there and see the little. You see, you're gonna have to stay on your hand and knees, and it's all. It seems a little weird. It seems like this is a mudslide where some bodies were slid down into, to be dropped off into this area for obviously the purposes you saw.
Okay.
But so it curves up a little bit, and it isn't so easy. And there's not necessarily a handheld because there's a lot. It's been slothed out with a lot of bodies free falling. Just have one that's coming down at the moment is what you kind of feel may occur, right? But you're still able to make your way in, and the mud like is enough to where you can get handhelds in it and kind of pull yourself
Any
up.
sunlight or anything?
It is darker as you go in here. The receiving light from the cave. There does seem to be a dim illumination. It's not flickering. It's like a static light, very low dim. They kind of, you could look at the walls of this encasement that you're in. It's mud-like encasement, and you can see the vague brownness of it as you're going up. But it's it's just very dim.
I will follow up.
Is there? There's further for me to go, right? I'm not. This is. I can go further.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, sorry, you can
So
go
I'll,
further.
So I'll keep crawling, and I'll yell back to the guys. I really can't entice them that this is an exit, but I don't know what to tell them. I'm crawling away. I yell back, "Come this way!" I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but
that's what I'm saying. You come to think this is probably where you was dumped off. This is probably where you was dumped off in the first place.
Probably, but yeah, right.
You're going back to it.
But Tara would yell, this way, thinking he's found the
Mhm.
exit, right?
Right.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll follow up.
Okay, you got Cabello behind you, and
Mhm.
okay, Tario, it takes you a moment, and it's a little bit of twists and turns, and it's basically on a slope going upwards, right? More like 45 to 65 sometimes degrees, and you make your way up in it. But then you spill out, your head comes out into an area that has this. You can tell where the illumination came from. It's this very faint green glow, and it seems to be when you look out, you see rather large mushrooms in an opening, another cavernous opening that are, peppered throughout the floor area, and some of them are rather large, and large top. You hear um, a slight water sound as off in the distance there seems to be like a natural little pool where water is spilling out of the down this smaller trail into this little pool in this room, and mushrooms are spilling out of this pool and into the room itself. Right.
Okay.
There is something laying in this pool itself too.
All right. Well, I'll pull myself up. I'll roll over to catch my breath. I'll yell back down or back into the hole to whoever's coming. Come this way. And then if I see Cabello, I'll pull Cabello. I'll pull him in.
Yes.
Yeah. When you're in, obviously Cabello's surfacing too, so you can pull him out. Slides out a little bit. It's still slick as I'll get out in here. There seems to be. Roll your vigilance, Jason. Does any of you have like bushcraft? I guess you could say.
Yes, I do. Yes.
4.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do as well.
4.
Okay.
I made it.
Okay, Cabello. You notice when you come out, these mushrooms they're obviously subterranean, but you've heard tell of them and the spore that they contain could possibly be dangerous. As you see it kind of, and you see this too, Taro, as the spore kind of fills the room with like dust motes, so many dust motes, and the green glow that is kind of emanating from the rock as well as the mushroom itself.
Okay, I will warn my companion. Be careful, my friend.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath.
Okay, hold your breath. Yeah. You're gonna need to.
What else am I gonna do?
Yeah, I want you. Well, you actually need to roll your resolute.
Oh.
As well as there, because you can't hold your breath forever. And Cabela, you have to do that too.
I am.
Resolute. No, I missed it.
Resolute. Okay. Oh shit. Right. Hold on, I gotta roll here. Hold on, and I rolled a. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Yeah, sweet. Okay.
I'll take a picture of that. I really did.
Okay, you got out of it. So you made it too, Cabello, right?
No, I failed.
You didn't.
Cabello
You
made
failed.
it. I didn't. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are the other two y'all coming up here? Or you want to stay in your little safe place?
Is that our safe place?
No, there's no
down here
safe
with
place.
this thing. Yeah, right. Yeah. So as soon as I guess Malleus will bring up the rear since he's
There's only fire, frying pan and fire. That's the only
and
two
fire.
places.
Yeah. So I'll bring up the rear, kind of limping, in every step, gritting his teeth. He's in, he's hurting, but
Okay.
I mean,
You make it, and after some time, each of you roll your quick though, because you're not just going to get up there magically. Tara had to do it, and the more you fill, the longer it takes,
okay.
which will factor in later on.
No modifiers, straight roll.
Just no modifiers. Well, modifier for you -2 since you're all.
Okay, well I didn't make it
Limping.
anyway, so that's an 18. So I'm struggling trying to get up.
Yeah.
I just passed with an 8.
Nice.
Okay. You got up now. When y'all get up, finally roll your resolute,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, I got a 1.
It ain't gonna
I did
happen.
I
roll.
can take a picture.
Nice.
You take a picture?
That looks like a 19 to
Nope.
me, Todd.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's an angle.
It's the
Okay,
Oh,
angle. Yeah.
okay.
okay.
It's because he's in Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's a failure for me.
Oh
Okay, so
no.
two of y'all fail. Okay.
Mhm.
Everybody's up
Well-
except David.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate to hear that for David.
David's
But
down
anyway.
there scrambling.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and but you both, you breathe in a little bit of bulk of these spores, a little bit, and you cough, and anyway, a little bit of blood comes up, and it seems like you've ingested some into your lungs. All right, so
Okay. All right.
officially,
Future
mechanically,
note.
it's disease that you've contracted right now. So there's going to
Thanks,
be
Dale. Okay.
no problem,
Oh.
man. I try to give as
Oh.
as I can.
All right. Contracted mystery disease.
Just
Got
yeah,
it.
it's just one. It's some kind
I
of
look
Don't worry
at,
about it.
I look at Cabello. This must be what it's like to be excrement moving through the bowels of Shig.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Shig shit.
Okay. But anyway, I believe I have to check on that. I think it's 1 point
Of damage?
return.
Turn
Yeah,
damage. Okay.
but you have to roll resolute.
To save against it.
To
Okay.
save
Now, I
against it,
already
yeah.
failed, so I just take the point. Because I failed my resolute a minute ago when you asked me to.
Yeah, you will, but I mean, you have to do that again.
Oh, gotcha. So
Soon
every
you have to
turn?
do. Yeah, but
Okay.
it only lasts because it's a minor thing. It didn't, so one. I need to look it up exactly, but
Okay, so just cue us every turn you want us to roll. So
yeah. Rules.
Disease, huh? Okay. See.
Man, this is crazy. I can't read nothing on this index.
Hold
The
on,
PDF.
sounds
Look.
It's
good.
literally, it's
I
like
like
Vaseline.
I like your call, man. Make a resolution check, take a point of damage if you fail. Perfect. It's good GM.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just one, so it only lasts.
It's
I think
good. It's perfect.
maybe 3.
I like
It
that.
sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Anyway,
You don't need no damn book. Get your head out of the book.
Anyway, I know, man.
But that
It's
goes
like somebody
against
smeared
Jason's.
Vaseline all over.
Yeah.
Why are you
Mr.
using a
Rock,
book
I'm getting-
now, man? Why you start
I'm gonna
using
get-
one now?
I'm getting my. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Screw this. Is why I don't, man. Screw it. Anyway, I'm getting a T-shirt that says Raw,
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Raw or death. Raw or die.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Raw or
Um,
die.
Okay. Well, you're in this room. You see an opening on either side beside that natural pool. The water's trickling down side of it into it and pooling up there. So, and you see that the water continues and goes around and kind of out and down to filter in through where y'all were climbing up to, So it continually heads downward. But it's pulled up right there. There's it looks like some body that's laying in it right now.
Mhm.
So the body it looks male, human,
Oh.
and it's all but stripped of its clothing.
Mm.
It just has on his breeches and a torn shirt.
Mhm.
Looks somewhat cut up. There seems to be its face is laying halfway into the half pool, and the pool's pouring down half of his face. Half of his face that's in that water looks like there's some acidic decay,
Ooh.
where it's ate that part of his face off, right? But you don't recognize this individual. But anyway, there seems to be another opening, more flat. There is no slope or no grade going up on this. It opens up into another room that's similar to this. There seems to be more of the same with the pollen filtering through, and you
Sorry, with the
hear
Sorry, Del.
the pollen filtering
Okay,
through
thank
the
you.
air.
The
Okay.
spore from the
Exactly.
mushrooms. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. So just keep that in mind
hmm
and take some deep breaths before you go into every room. There's there is all of you roll just roll one vigilance across for the party.
Oh, just somebody. Okay.
One.
One, okay.
No.
Well, that's as good as you get. Whenever you
There's
walk
that
into
one
the
again.
Is that
whenever you walk into the room, this is walk into the room, you see and hear the heel and the backside, the back thigh of a smallish white goblinoid creature in its loincloth, and you see the edge of its ear as it scampers away, and you hear its naked, flat feet running down into the next room, which would be the third room, because you just entered the second, and it's squawking and pitching and whatever you can tell it's calling.
I'll look around if I see Malleus still hasn't joined us. I'll lower my rope down that hole to Malleus, give him a boost out.
Okay. No, I'm saying that he made it up.
Oh, he did.
eventually.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying I only rolled to say you'll make it up, but it just
gotcha.
has more time to the whole deal.
Okay.
Because you're on a time scale here.
Okay.
But like everybody was up in the first room.
Okay.
You two failed the resolution and walked into the second room. You noticed some creature leaving.
Okay.
And leaving that room through an opening, a further opening, right? So which there seems to be two openings, one to the left and one to the right, and it went into down to the right room, and it's squawking and hollering. For what reason you can only, I guess, surmise.
And there's an exit on the left too?
Yeah.
Gosh.
So you come to a fork in the road, just pick it up.
Take
What
one.
do you guys think?
Well, this thing the thing we just saw run was probably another prisoner from the way it was dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it knows the way out.
Well, I will say that even though my description might be poor, the goblinoids that y'all witnessed on the walls, there seems to be some kind of, and you would have known, or at least Malleus, Cabello, and whatever would have known Shig, but it was the same about dimensions or whatever. It was just pale and a bit.
Oh, it was okay.
So you have seen these creatures before, Big Lug?
Yes, they were crawling on the walls down in that abyss.
Oof.
We emerged from the water. We're not sure where they were coming from.
I will go whatever direction you guys want to go, but maybe we should treat Malleus. I mean, I'm assuming you look pretty bad, right, Malleus? You're.
Yeah, he's that was
Knocked the wind out of
he's no, he got more than the wind knocked out of him. He's looking
He got the
excrement
excrement knocked out of him.
yeah, and also I guess he's kind of wheezing a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And every time maybe he coughs, you guys see the motes, the flecks of the
Yeah.
yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yep.
Yeah, and you could see that person that was half laid in that pool, that around where there had been like decay, some kind of the pool was acidic, or at least naturally so. but not like acid, but it had decayed and bloated and whatever like that. But you could see spore-like growth on the other side of,
Yeah,
It's
giving me an idea of what's going to happen pretty soon. So
Mhm.
yeah, he ain't
Um,
looking too good.
Yeah, I know. You better start. Y'all need to at least stop and let him write his will out.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm going to suggest we treat Malleus, food, water. I don't have any special healing skills, so if anybody does, we might want to treat Malleus.
I've got
The sooner we get out of here, the better. Is it that type of situation or what?
Well, if we are going to live to tell the tale, yes.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know the way out, so right, left, we don't know, right?
Doesn't Lug can maybe see if there's tracks leading one way or the other? Maybe that will be a clue. Possibly.
Well, I mean, we know that goblin thing went to the right.
Went to the right.
Right.
yeah, and Lug, if you just throwing back from the last episode, when you notice those goblin trails, that's what you see on here, and they're pretty. They're not hidden in any kind of way. There seems to be more going to the right where that goblin sped off to. There's a couple going to the left, and the left entrance looks more, looks less tunnelish. It's a little bit larger. So for you yourself, it will at least let you stand up at full height and walk through. Where the other one is more of a
I
goblin
gotta go
size.
that way, huh?
How
Yeah.
much light is in this area, and where's it coming
Very diffused, low-level light. I mean, you have to get at least, I'd say, 3 foot up on something before you really can see it fully in effect.
from? Okay.
Yeah, all of its aspect.
I mean,
Alright,
I mean, if you want to go right, Big Lug, I'll follow. It's makes no difference to me.
Now let's. It's probably best we stay
What?
away from these things with the condition Malleus is in.
Mhm.
Let's go to the left. And did this thing come from the left, or did it come from the room that we're in?
Well, the thing you just saw, the little goblin
The
creature,
goblin thing. Yeah.
the room that you just entered, which is the second room
Mhm.
and you fought Shig, you came up a little tunnel, you entered this room,
Right.
and then you went past it, and that's when Taro noticed the
Okay.
goblin nest. The goblinoid was leaving to the right down a smaller trail.
Okay. So so it did come from the room that we were in. It didn't. It wasn't
Oh,
running
yeah.
from that left
Sorry.
path. to
Gotcha.
the
So
right.
it exited our room to the right. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then.
Well, if you lead the
Yes.
way, I'll take up the rear and protect the back of the group. If you take the lead.
Very well. He
Then-
will ready his spear and start leading the way down
Just
the
in
left
case
lane.
something sneaks up on us from behind, I'll be in the rear.
Yeah, so we're heading down the left path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You head down the left path. It seems to be somewhat cobblestone-ish as you get through, and the opening is still rough hewn, but it's not like saturated with mud and whatnot. That's getting less and less dense. There seems to be a reduction of the spore and pollen infiltrating the air. As you travel some, I do need you to roll. Wait a minute. We'll hold off on that. When you get to a point, probably a good, I'd say no more than a couple of minutes further,
Mm-hmm.
you can hear, well, there's still water somewhat in little areas on the floor pulled up, very thin layers of it, and but you can almost hear or feel when you look at the water.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be slight vibrations in the water, and there's like an intoned slight humming sound, at least, or a rushing sound that seems like it's coming on the other side of the walls. All right. So, a little bit further on, the path branches mainly to the right. There is another little smaller hole to the left, similar to the goblin-sized hole that was in the earlier room that you decided not to go down, right? It's incredibly dark inside there. It's still dark where you are here. There's no mushrooms to kind of light your way, so you're kind of creeping along at this rate in a darkened aspect. Now, if you're continuing now further along this, you kind of have to go in 10-foot pole, because it's so freaking dark, oppressively so. The humming is slightly increasing, or at least this feeling. It's almost like you can feel it up through the floor into your, into your body. But it's really low. It's really low key. It doesn't do anything. It's just it's like loud, quiet volume level. There is, there's to your left and to your right, you come to a branching. It's like a bit of a wall, probably about 10 foot wide. It's almost like a T, or like a Y, but it V's off, right? To your left and to your right, of the same size. So you get another fork in the road here.
Keep the same direction, I would recommend.
To the right?
If that's what we did before, yes.
Okay. Well, you go to the right.
We took the left before.
Yeah.
I thought we did the right.
Okay. You taking the left?
Well, we took the left.
Wait.
We took.
It makes a difference. It makes a difference.
We took the left, but he said we angled right at some point.
Is that what it was? Okay.
But I thought we took the left, the original left pathway. Yeah.
The goblin right originally.
It'd been going to the right
section having this discussion.
Yeah. It'd have been angling to the right, but it split it off again. Okay?
No, our left, Del. Our left.
Yeah, there you go. Let me turn around.
No, your right, our left.
Yeah.
Force left. Air Force left. Okay.
No, the other left.
You're going to the left. You're going to the left, and it isn't that far down. There's a crook to the right. There seems to be an opening, and you can more or less feel it than you can see anything. There's a slight green luminescence coming from deeper in the area that you're looking at, but it's a little bit further off. But it's still almost pitch. But it's like, and you can tell the space, because of the echo, has widened out somewhat. All right, so it's not a hallway more than it is more like similar to a chamber like you were in before.
Okay.
All right. So you proceeding forward, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Does anyone have any torches or anything?
I think we all carry the equipment on page 78. I think it lists everything we carry.
Everybody brought shovels, but nobody brought a torch. Okay.
I'm pretty sure we all have a light source.
We do. Yeah, we do, because we lit.
Yes.
We made fire last session, so I know for sure that Malleus and Cavallo have.
Page 78 just lists the general equipment outside of your armor and stuff.
Okay.
Horn.
And believe it or not, I didn't write it on my character sheet, but I know the page. Let's see, we have a deck of cards, pipe, tobacco, backstory.
A lot of good escalating.
Case of bait, signal horn,
Why don't you like the way of the backstory? That's your
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't need to worry about it. Yeah, you have to worry about the backstory because you ain't got no future.
Oh wow.
Oh, page
Man.
148, maybe. Oh, here we go. Firewood. Yeah, right. Trinkets.
Signal horn.
Yeah.
Lock of hair.
Whoa, okay.
I thought it said we had basic equipment.
Wow.
Page 148.
A little different, huh? Okay.
Really?
Page
So you're
148.
still in the dark. You're still in the dark, but you're making your way toward the green
Oh.
luminescence, right?
We are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
I don't even know if it does. Go
are you
ahead.
trying to be discreet in any kind of way, shape, or form? I'm just. This is a freebie.
Yeah, that's a
Are you
leading
just
question,
walking?
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Big Lug's leading the way, so
So-
he's
he's
kind of
got this-
setting the he's setting the
He's setting the
Oh,
pace.
he's setting
The
the thing.
spear,
Yeah.
the spear in
Bull
the
in a
house. Oh,
china.
yes, right. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got the spear out in front of me, trying to blind man my way through.
All right, just want to see your posture. So I think the darkness would make everybody a little bit cautious, or at least slow
Mhm.
to proceed.
Mhm.
Now, as you get closer, this green luminosity, you start seeing the tops of like mushrooms and whatnot, like you saw before. It is a similar light as it opens up, and you see an opening. This more or less like it's not roughly hewn. It's perfectly like an arch, right? And then beyond that, you still see, and you maybe hear a little bit, aside from the thrumming that's been going on with this humming coming up, and there's water. You can smell almost the water in the air, and see a little bit of this pollen in the green as you're getting closer to this entrance. Now roll your vigilance, Big Lug. Let's see if you notice a little something else.
All right. I got a passed with a 15.
You pass with the 15. You you hear something slip and slither down in a drop, like inside a thing, and a hissing almost. At this point, you're right about at the entrance of this opening, and none of y'all, I gather, have any kind of light source, but you can see that in the room is fairly lit with all this green luminosity, right? So you hear, "You have done well. Come and join the dead." That.
He must be talking to you, Malleus.
No, it doesn't seem like it's directed toward anybody. It seems like you hear another.
Like
Lord.
a conversation or something.
Yeah, now Big Lug's the one who's hearing this. Okay,
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
and now, unless y'all ride up on him, but
No.
he's the one who.
No.
So unless he wants to hush y'all,
No, we give Big Lug about 100 foot leeway.
now Big Lug, are you letting him know or what? You keep it to yourself or?
I'm
Put
going
your
to
hand up.
listen. If it sounds like it's not directed towards me, but it's possible that there's going to be like some reply. I'm going to wait and listen.
Yeah, when he says, "Yes, my lord," in reply, there seems to be some kind of a discussion. The conversation doesn't break like you've been noticed yet, but your colleagues are coming up right behind you,
Yeah, I'm going to. Well, I guess they won't be able to see.
They might see the silhouette of your hand or something.
Yeah, so
Green.
I'll like gesture for them to stop and
Stop, hold up a hand.
hold up a hand and for them to stop where they are.
All right, are you guys going to comply? Or are you just going to freaking?
Oh no,
I don't know.
Comply. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll stop short. So if everybody wants to kind of cue in on what's being said, I guess y'all are sitting there eavesdropping a little bit. But you hear the conversation. stop about right there, but you all hear slithering, creaking, and a slight rattling sound. A sloshing sound as something is slithering through the muck and mire that you yourself have just tread through some of this, right?
Okay.
Some of the lighting there shifts somewhat. You can almost see eerily the motes of pollen and whatever shift slowly in the room. And then you hear like a crunch and a gulp.
What?
And then
What?
something shift on the ground, something shift like shoes on the ground a little bit. And then there's a shift in another shifting of something large, like some large creature. And the dust, the pollen motes are shifting somewhat. You do see not really a shadow, but you do see some long, dim lit shadow of something rather large cross across through the green like that. Now, all of you aren't looking in the room right now. You just got your ear on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this continues.
I think we went the wrong way.
Yeah, it continues for a bit.
Maybe we should backtrack and go right.
I
Goblins might be better.
told you right.
Are
You were
back
correct. Cabello, why we don't listen to you, I don't know. You were correct. Cabello.
I don't know.
So you guys are backtracking right now?
I
sounds
don't know.
like it.
Okay, it's fine by me, man.
Sounds like we are. I think so. Sounds like we are.
Whatever's in there sounds pretty big.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's enjoying a snack, and I'm not.
I know, right?
Yeah. It may not want dinner company, so right.
So if you're guys going to have to be discreet.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, then there's that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Oh,
there's that.
well.
Discreet. Okay.
Discreet.
Okay. I can
We're
do
gonna have to be
discreet,
discreet if we go into the room.
Oh, good,
so-
right? Yeah, we're back. Taro's leading the way. The backtrack.
Okay.
We all just pivot and start back.
You start backing up,
And
slowly.
I'm in front now to get us back to where we were. Right.
But anyway, roll. The lowest of you roll for
Oh,
the
God.
street.
The lowest.
That's
The lowest one.
That's
Yeah.
me.
Weakest
That's
link
me.
on the chain.
Lowest
I have
discreet.
11.
I'm at 10.
Yeah.
I'm at
I got
10.
a 5.
Oh, roll it.
Does what that do? Malleus is many things, but discreet is not one.
What are
of
you
them.
doing? Coughing out loud or something?
Probably. I think I all of a sudden hacked a
That's
little.
what.
Huh?
That's what you
Ah.
spelled that, or you got it. Okay.
No, I rolled an 8, close but no dice, so failure.
Okay. As you start to
So
back up,
Malleus starts hacking.
Yeah.
you start to back up. You hack some. There is immediately this sound of engorgement that's been going on stops for a second,
Interrupted somebody's dinner.
and you can hear a shifting and
Boy.
and whatnot, and then
Yeah.
it's almost like a sliding of some
Oh,
rather large thing across the
Oh man.
across the flooring. I mean, I don't know what you want to do, book it or whatever, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Taro
Okay.
Taro will cut backward a glance toward the noisy Malleus. I can't quite make out Malleus in the dark, but if he could see the look on my face of if looks could kill as he's coughing and hacking. But I start in a little trot, pick up the pace.
okay, all right. You go backwards.
Fortunately, he can't see that scowl on my face when I look back.
as the dim green is receding in the back, and you're forward momentum trying to get out of this area. You can probably feel more than see, obviously, that something is glaring at you, right? And that dim light that is behind you, that may be slightly casting in front of you, totally goes shaded dark. So it goes pitch black, right? And you hear it in the back, and there's some more guttural sounds, of some hissing, somewhat some deep throated, compacted, impeded hissing that's trying to come out, right?
Yeah.
And some lurching and guttural sounds, whatever, like it's choking. But anyway, you guys move.
Go.
Yeah, you guys move on. Devil's at your
Yeah.
back. So you break out back into that intersection. I guess you're going to the
Yeah, and
other way?
I just
Cabela's
immediately
way.
lead. I'll just lead the way right.
Cabela's going to put a sign that says Cabela's way.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Are you moving? What's your demeanor, your posture here? Moving outright? Or are you slowing down? Or what?
Cautious.
Yeah, we'll slow to a
hurried walk.
Yeah, with my pike out front, my pike leading the way in the dark.
Okay, same lineup as
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
All
I don't know. Did you want me to lead Big Lug, or do you want to get back in front?
You can lead the way.
Okay. So, yep.
If you're leading the way, you notice that it's a slight incline this way, and it's only been it went around straight, and it's more circular, taking to the left and going upwards, and there's a little bit more of an incline. It seems like you're going
Climbing.
Seems like you've climbed up at least to where you're back around where you finally were. But every step you take, even though it was pitch black when you got up in there, slightly there's a blue light or fade blue light coming more so around the bend, so to speak. It just gets lighter as you're ascending, right?
Okay.
But this thrumming and humming gets a little bit louder.
Okay.
As you're going up. All right. So if you continue this toward the top,
Yeah.
it's not so much that it's beyond whatever, but you can tell, and you hear a clink, clink. All right. As you're getting to the top, and then you'll exit out into this archway. It's not hewn. This has been more like it's almost like black onyx granite rock.
Okay.
Now he doesn't, Tara, you don't really notice this, but I'd say the other guys will go ahead and allow that it's similar to the rock that you saw when you came up at the first place that you entered, right? So it has that same consistency and that same slickness that you were on the inside of the tunnel. Okay. But Tara's leading the way, and you come around the corner, and there seems to be an irradiant blue, bluish white light coming from inside of a large dome-like chamber. That's totally black. So when you peer into it, there's that light. It seems to be in the more or less the center of this area, and you can see it's illuminating slightly onto the walls. There seems to be on the top of the dome like area, there's little pinpricks of white in different areas. So it's almost like if you wouldn't know any better, it would be like if you went in there fully and looked up, you'd be looking at the stars, right?
Okay.
So, but in the center of this, in front of you, about the size of probably about floating, or not floating necessarily, but about 6 foot, 8 foot high, there's some kind of a ball, a sphere that's like crackling with blue and white energies, as far as you can describe. Okay. Just a little bit electric. All right. So you've seen a thunderstorm too. That's what you're seeing. So I don't know what you want to do, Tara.
So this is a large room.
Oh yeah, it's definitely large. It seems to be the cracking, and you can hear it. It's going up. You would seem to take it at least being 25 foot high, 30 maybe.
Wow. Okay.
Anything? I'll look about this chamber. Anything else? Any other noises? Any sign of life in this chamber outside of the crackling energy ball?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. You can, aside from the crackling, you see it casting its light on the different other areas of the other whatever. There's a when you look to the side, there's a dimmer light behind it, sort of a grayish white pale sphere behind it from where your location is, right?
Mm.
And then it's giving off less of a light, but it's still casting. You see it cast light on, to your chagrin, the lower torso of something that is walking off in the distance around it. And you can hear it mumbling and talking to itself. You can see something, 2 or 3 individuals or whatever slumped up against the walls on the opposite side of this chamber. Like I said, it's totally pitch black. It looks like it's all made out of the rock that you were encased in. Inside the tunnel. But he looks to be this being, which is really large. He looks to like 15 foot to up 18 foot tall or so. Large creature. When it comes around to a certain area, it moves to the left. It's long. There's one arm that's unusually big on it, and it hangs down long. It's got a loincloth, long stringy black hair, a crooked nose, totally black eyes when it moves over. At least it seems so when it moves over, and it seems to be talking to someone as it's doing some different things on the wall. You can hear a chain, and more or less see chains hanging and dangling down from the top of the ceiling down at the room. You can only see about 3 of them right now, and one of them looks to be center. And he brushes past one when you take notice of it, and you hear it slightly swinging. It seems to be that he's talking to the figures on the ground. Seems to be almost a dullish, dim-witted voice, booming though. But he kind of laughs and snickers, and it's like he's telling them riddles and jokes and whatnot as he's doing some kind of machinations on the wall. On the floor, you notice that it seems to be centrifugal circles, rings going out, or at least there's dividers in between these rings. There's also chains on the floor too that you notice that are attached to different things. At this time, he walks over there and he grabs a chain and he picks it up and he grunts and he kind of laughs and he's staggering backwards as he's moving that center of that centrifugal ring, independently moving it to the other ones, and he pulls it and it goes plunk again. The same sound you heard coming through there, and you see that one ball, that grayish light, move one click over in the direction, more so between you and the opposite side. From where you're entering to the opposite side of the wall, it clicks over and gets more in line. And then he drops the chain with a thud, and he rolls over. He goes to the other side, and he's leaning down in the corner now, going through, looks like some kind of gadgets or tools or somewhat laying on the side of the chamber. All right. So he's dropping where is it? Where is it? He's booming this out. And then he looks over at the others. You know where it is? And laughs. But they don't seem to reply or anything. They're just slunched over.
Wow.
Well, what do you do with that?
I know, right?
You still hear the rushing and the thrumming, and it seems like water itself is on the outside of the walls. That it's just like, is the only way I can, describe it.
Okay. Wow. So he's turning this light source with a chain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. He takes. I know you're probably just standing there, kind of stock still, not knowing what to do. And he pulls out some kind of a thing. There it is. And it's small and diminutive in his hand. It's just really nothing. He holds it up like we would a quarter, But you catch the glint of it. It's golden.
Oh,
He turns around and it's got
Attack!
he's walking to the center of what you didn't see before, the center of the room, and from him, like backlit off his starkly white frame, you tell this dude hadn't had sunlight in a long time. His hair is like greasy black and laid down all the way down his back. He's brawny, like I said. One of his right arm is really humongous. He takes that little gold thing and he puts it on top of what seems to be a pyramid of black metal that's rising up out of the center of this room, right? So the center and the other two are kind of in between you and this black pillar, and he's directly facing you, but he doesn't see you right now, and he's still humming his little song. He'll stop and tell them a riddle and expect an answer. You bet you don't know, so it seems rather crazy. And he turns around after he takes his thumb and pushes this into the top of the pyramid. It seems to be flattened off at the top, though. It's not pointed. The top of it, and he runs, and where you didn't notice before, in between the two, there's this huge hammer that he picks up, and he twists and lows on his shoulder, and then he starts walking over there to it, and he looks up, and at this moment when he's looking up, he picks up that hammer, and he takes it down, and he smacks it into the top of the pyramid, and then you see great golden light kind of infused and come out brilliantly for a second underneath between that and the hammer. And then he says, "Oh," and he laughs and picks it up again. Well, when he takes it away from it, it's glowing a little bit on the top. And you will see at this point that electricity bounds from that orb, the blue one, over to the gray one, and somewhat to the top of that mound right there. All right. So you feel when he hits it, the sound vibration comes out and it kind of hits you in the chest as it radiates outward on this. And when it does, that feeling that you had going up there where it was radiating through your body, it kind of increases, and there's a tone that comes to it. And then he comes over again and smacks it again. Now the rushing sound outside of you increases somewhat. And the chains slightly sway and bray from this sound frequency comes out, but it's definitely different tones that are coming out each time. And it seems to be every time he's hitting it, and he's hitting it with rapidity. Every time he'll come in and hit it again. And it's like the blue light gets stronger. The electricity arcs over from it to the gray to the gold. And when his hammer pulls up, there's still a tendril of electricity going from his hammer. And then he lights it up again, and his hair is starting to stand up a little bit and fly out, and it's long like that. But he's continually doing that. It seems like the bodies have somewhat shaken and slid from their otherwise, relaxed posture and slumped more so to the edge.
Does it look like there's a exit? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
No. Sorry. But it seems he's definitely not human, as you would say, but he's grotesque looking. He's not so far removed from Big Lug, only a little bit uglier, right? And paler.
Easy.
Is he blocking an exit?
Is there an exit?
This room seems to be terminated. Other than what you can see, that the chains have a little bit of a give, and it seems like that they're clinking on the inside of openings, right? they're not terminated immediately at the top, but they're hanging down through holes in the top.
Man,
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know, guys.
Well, do we interrupt this individual in what he's doing, or do we
Maybe he knows a way out of here.
This dude's like almost 18 foot tall.
All right, well, maybe he knows.
Yeah, and I'm just telling you.
big goal.
In case you didn't get it.
Well, he seems a bit more civilized than the other things we've come across.
Does
Yeah.
he? He seems insane to me.
Mhm.
He,
Is he? I mean, when he speaks, can we understand him? I mean, does he speak our language, or is it a foreign language?
oh yeah, no,
Okay,
he's speaking. He's
So we
speaking
can make
something
out that he's speaking our language. Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, like I said, he's oddly enough saying riddles, and then he'll stop and sing a song, but it's like he's talking to these bodies that are over to the side.
Yeah.
They'll get a little bit miffed whenever they don't respond.
Mm.
So I mean, right now he's saying Let me see. I got a couple of them. Saying, I can help you to rest or to block out your sun, but unless you're a Cyclops, you'll need more than one.
Eyes.
What is it?
I'll yell out eyes. From the darkness. Eyes, you fool.
He stops and pauses a moment from dropping until he took him off his guard, right? And he says, almost, but you're close. But you're close. And he's looking around wild-eyed, so it looks like he hadn't had an interaction in like an eternity.
Okay.
What say you? Another guess? And he lifts it up, but he's paused his hammering.
There's no
said eyes. You said eyes. No,
Say close.
An eye. One eye. Another
No,
eye.
no. Listen to me again. And he says,
There's no cooking pot around here, is there?
I can help you to rest or to block out the sun, but unless you're a Cyclops, you'll need more than one. Thank you. And he leans forward.
An eyelid.
And he brights up or whatever. And he's, come. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And he's
Taro
looking
will step
forward to
back
see-
to behind Big Lug and kind of give him a push forward. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Big Lug stumbles forward.
Big Lug stumbles forward a little bit and looks around to see if his compatriots are coming out with him.
No,
Okay.
you're doing good.
He sees you, and his quizzical look comes over his face. But who are you? Where do you come from?
We've come from the surface.
And he looks behind you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Taro's backing up into the darkness.
What did you bring me?
My compatriots are a bit bashful.
Compatriot. Come forward.
My friends.
He waves you forward, and he's rubbernecking around you. He says, "Oh, do y'all follow suit or what? Are you heading back down?"
I'm not gonna step into his eyesight. I'm gonna very quietly stay where I'm at.
Yeah, you've been cocooned up fairly recently, so yeah, Malleus will kind of limp forward, to get a closer look at this guy and see if there's any opportunity for him to maybe get a chance to maybe get some medical help of some sort. Who knows what this guy can do? So yeah, he steps forward.
Yeah. Caballo's coming forward too, but I'm looking for weak spots in his.
Nice.
He looks at y'all. He says, "Tiny morsels," and he looks at Big Lug, and he looks at Big Lugs. He says, I can understand you, but these little creatures, they're like the ones over there." And he gestures towards the three that are laying lopsided on the side right there.
I didn't see those.
right there, he stops for a minute, and it's like he hears clink, right? And he drops that hammer and runs over there and picks up that chain again. He's like, "Help me!" And he grabs the chain and he's starting to pull back. And it's like that ring had slipped back a notch, so he's pulling the ring more in line and in sequence in between the pyramid and the blue thing. So it's broke the connection of electricity that's jumping across, right?
And he's asking for
Have to have it. Yes. He's just like he's known you all his life. He just drops his hammer, runs over there and grabs it, picks up the chain, wraps it around his arms, like, "Come help me," you know. I mean, you're like half his size, maybe.
Right. Yeah. So I am going to, tell my compatriots to stay back, and I'm going to, step forward down and grab the chain and start trying to help him.
Okay, so you're on the short end of the chain as he's up there.
Yeah.
Right. So you're trying to pull, and hopefully the stick. Keep your leg straddled on either side of this ring.
Yeah.
And you see it itself. It's almost like the gears of clockwork underneath this floor system as it slides forward, and you notice that this luminous gray sphere sits on top of some kind of a metal pole or ramrod that's coming straight up. It's about 6 foot. It's about as tall as you are. Okay, maybe a head taller. As you pull it back and you feel it lock into place. He says, "Pull again."
And
you can feel the electricity, like right beside you, kind of light up the air. Gives you a buzz as it jumps over in channels. And then he drops his end, right? It's kind of heavy on your end, and drops right back down. And he grabs the hammer, and he says, "Watch me swing this." And he picks it up again, and he starts smacking it again. But he's totally lost where he was with what he was doing. After a couple of more swings, the electricity is starting to arc higher and jump up off of his hammer, and is sending tendrils up to the inside of this dome area. And it seems to be creeping out, spider webbing across these smaller pinpoints of light as it goes. We've got to get Apophis to breach, he says as he's smacking it again. "She needs to eat," and he smacks it again. And this every time he does this. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask him who needs to eat.
"Apophis, do you not know the world serpent?" And he smashes again.
What?
"Where have you been?" And he smashes it again, right? So every time the spider web is starting to it's about 25% across this dome and is spreading down, right? But you can hear every time he does, it's almost like the hairs raise up on you as this sound wave echoes out from this pyramid. It just comes out and it's almost like goes through you, and the swirling sound on the outside of this thing starts to come in. Roll, all of y'all roll me some vigilance right now.
No.
I passed with a 7.
Yes.
Okay. Well, both of y'all feel something a little bit before the rest of them. There seems to be some kind of drops of water coming down from the and landing on you from your location. All right. So, from up above.
Right.
So he's still doing it. Okay. He's I have a good one. And he swings again and hits it. And he says, "I start the day and end the end, and do the same for you, dear friend." "What is it?" And he leans in and he's all smiles or whatever. And he picks the hammer up and smacks
Letter
it again.
D.
And he says, and then he drops that hammer down and turns a big finger. "Who said that?" And he's looking for you. And he points in your direction.
Shit.
"Good fellow. Maybe they're not as useless as the others, and he points toward the others. Obviously they
Oh,
couldn't answer his riddles, but anyway, he does that. He joyously booms or whatever like that, but he relaxes his hammering somewhat, right?
mhm.
But you still, I bet all of you right now, uh, the light recedes a little bit from the spider web that's been growing around there, and there's more water a little bit coming in and
What?
down the chains, and you can tell you can more so tell it now because it's
Mhm.
interfering with the electricity that's coming out, right?
And
So it's,
okay,
yeah, sparking a little bit. Uh,
is the water coming from like you said there were like pinpricks in the ceiling that look like stars? Is that where it's coming from, or is
yeah,
it?
it looks like the electricity is like hopping from one pinprick to the other across the surface of the dome, the
What is
interior of
this
it.
guy
But
doing? Okay.
the water is coming out of, it seems like the holes where the chains were.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. But they're coming down and they're dropping and kind of interfering with that. They're not stopping it or putting it out. They're just, you got to be careful where you're, yeah.
Puddles on the floor now, or starting? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's little random tendrils of electricity that are jumping from
Oh,
here to
okay. All
there
right. Yeah,
into
I
wet
think we need to
places.
get out of here.
Yeah.
This
Yep,
guy,
yep,
I don't know
yep.
what he's doing, but
Yep.
Okay.
it ain't conducive to us surviving. That's for
Nope.
sure.
I am not feeling the love. No.
Yeah.
Where's Lug at? Is he in a situation
You
where
say
he
there are
can,
still some chains hanging though from
politely
Oh yeah.
excuse himself, or?
There's several. There's probably, now that you're seeing more of what's going on, there's one in the center. Center, there's probably about 5 on the outside going around it. And there's on the outer circumference, there's probably about 10. So, and he hits that again, and he's saying another riddle as he hits it again, and it more spider webs and jumps across these other little spots. But it's slightly
You
dangerous.
need to remember to put your fan on.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there trying to get water.
He runs over and grabs one of those chains and
Mhm.
pulls it, and then the water just opens up. It's like he pulls out a stopper, and it just hits the ground and starts filling up.
Hmm.
And he starts laughing. He says,
Time to
"Apophis, come
I'm
have your meal."
Oh, time
Right?
to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's going around like crazy.
Okay. Yeah. I suppose we should back out the way we came.
Yeah, I think we have no choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this whole place is going to flood.
Oh, right. That's another
I
good
mean,
point.
like the whole,
Sure.
actually, the whole place. Okay.
Well, Taro will put his pike away and go to one of these chains, and I'm going to try to climb to the roof of this
Ooh,
dome
oh.
on one of these
Catch
chains.
you doing it. He goes, "Yes, pull them out," and he runs over and pulls the other. Now, roll. Since you said that, there, roll vigilance, and you can see all of y'all do that again, please.
Okay.
1 for me.
Nice.
Okay,
Nice.
when you say that, and probably what prompted you to do it is because you realize initially there was a heavy flow coming out of the first one he pulls, and then it's like lessening. It's still a good torrent of water, but you can tell at a certain degree that it's become more steady. It looks like there might be a limited supply. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As far as it goes.
Right.
So anyway, are you running over?
Well, I'm climbing one of these chains to the roof, to the ceiling.
Okay. The one he pulled down and left is the lowest to the floor. And that's the one you could probably more readily get to without jumping or doing some acrobatics. 'Cause
Okay.
they hang a little bit high, right? So if you do that, the water's going to be spilling around you so
Oh,
much.
boy.
I need you to roll temp
Oh, boy.
corruption.
Oh, temporary corruption.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did we reset from the last scene? Any temporary corruption?
Does that mean no?
No.
No.
5. So I am at full corruption.
boy.
No. Okay. Your full corruption, this means I guess you got 1 permanent.
Yeah, right. I've earned 1
Mhm.
permanent.
Okay. If there's any growth or anything you need to You need to elaborate on. I don't know, but anyway, you're climbing up there. You need to
Actually, I don't think we do that until we're
No,
full corruption.
you're
full.
okay. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
okay.
You got one permanent. You just need to get full corruption.
Right.
from
I
there.
need to
Mhm.
get full, which matches my resolution of 9 before that happens. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're climbing up there. The water's dumping all around you. Try to hold on to what you're doing. Give me a strength
Okay.
check.
2 and 7 is my strength.
You're holding on, and you're able to climb up further
Okay.
as this chain's kind of whipping around and buffeting from the water that's
So-
being dropped around it. Right?
What's up there? I mean, where's Taro?
At this
What's it
point,
look
I'm
like
just
he's
I'm
climbing
hoping
to?
it'll get me to something I can grab hold of at the top, or a hole that I can climb out of.
Are those holes up there that large for him to squeeze through?
Oh
Does it
yeah,
look
they
like
are.
it?
I'm assuming it's a
Oh,
big
okay.
chain, right? I mean, it's a big chain.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
had to
is.
straddle it, so it's got to be.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to climb to the top and be able to grab hold or climb through something or something anyway.
Yeah.
I yell at Cabello and Big Lug, and I point and I say, "I guess that's our way out of here."
All right.
Okay.
I
He's running around pulling these chains off,
Yeah.
all of them, right?
Yeah.
So,
I'm good. Did he? I'm going to just go for the closest one that he's pulled out and start climbing myself.
okay. We'll just do the same thing. Roll for temp corruption as well as your strength. Kind of hold on.
Right.
Strength roll. Okay.
What is it? A
Temporary
D4?
corruption is 1d4.
Just 1d4. Yeah, just do
Yeah.
that.
I got a 3.
Okay, so I got a 3 and a 9 on my strength, and whoo, just made it. Okay,
Nice.
Okay.
so
I got a
I
7 on my strength, which passes.
Nice.
am up to.
I
7
think
for
Todd may have
temp.
stepped away. Does anybody?
Yeah, sounded like it.
Yeah.
Does anybody
That's
know
fine.
what Cabela's strength is?
No, I don't think
Okay.
I have his.
I guess we'll
Let me
just
see if I got his.
Well, have you rolled, David?
Same.
I got a
Have you rolled
9,
the same?
so I did that. Yeah, and I got a 3 added to my temporary corruption.
Okay. Okay. So all of y'all basically are holding on to the chain and making it up
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
Trying to
Okay.
shimmy. Well, not even shimmy, but yeah, trying to climb up.
You're trying to climb up to the top.
Uh huh.
Okay.
So it's a little ways to get up there.
Yeah. It's a little ways to get up there, so it's going to take you a little bit of time. But in the meantime, and we'll see if Todd can play catch up when he gets back. But in the
Mhm.
meantime, he's been stopping from pulling these chains and going out there and picking his hammer up and smacking it again. And it's really, the electricity is jumping around you.
Mhm.
We're going to see at this time you're about midway up. Whenever he starts smacking it again, and this electricity is jumping not only across the ceiling but across these beads of water too, in some way. So I want you to roll. Dang, we need some luck. But go ahead and roll your either cunning or discreet. Take your pick. Pick your poison.
What are we trying to?
Let's just see if you get hit by any of this lightning.
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
10.
So I made it under both. I was under both discreet and cunning, so either one.
Discreet.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, let me see. Cunning. Okay.
I
See.
failed my discrete roll.
Well, we pick one, though, right?
Discreet?
Either one, right?
Yes.
The best. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yep. Discreet or
Yeah.
cunning?
Pick your best.
Okay, that's a fail on my cunning.
Mm.
Okay. Well, all it's going to do is like
Are we
you
doing
can
one or the other?
just do 1d. Yeah. Do 1d4 for damage on this.
Okay.
Are we doing cunning or are we doing this?
Whatever's
First of
higher.
all,
Say that
well,
again, sorry.
Todd, you need to go up the. If you're going to follow them, they all hit the chains. and
Yeah,
it's
we're
trying to crawl out
climbing.
of
We're
this area.
climbing the chains.
So they all three just did a strength roll to see if they could,
Oh, strength.
was because there's a torrent of water coming down around these chains, right?
Your
So-
words are strange to me. Okay, I'll do strength. Sure. What? Sure. Whatever.
Yeah, it's just like
shh.
water's dumping all over.
I made it. I have a 7. I made a
Nice.
5. I rolled a
Nice.
5.
Nice.
Nice. Now roll for temp corruption. 1d4 for temp corruption. This is
So I
water's
get that.
dumping.
I get that for a point.
That's
Okay,
like the
use
old.
that for-
That's like the old gym class rope climb.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't. I ain't
Oh,
gonna make
yeah.
it let you go, but you'll definitely clinch up on it, right? So you're still gonna be in harm's way for longer.
Okay.
I said 1d4 for corruption.
Uh huh.
I think I rolled a 4.
Woo.
You're
Dang, okay. All right. You're holding on to your deal. You pass the strength, right? So you're
Yeah.
about halfway up, but all this water is going all over you. And now roll either your cunning or your discreet, whichever's higher, unless you can get under it. That's to dodge some of the electricity that's ever present in the room.
Yep. 2. Got it.
Nice.
nice.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. So y'all are about halfway up. I think
Mhm.
well, you got it, so you didn't get hit. So Cabello and Toro are pretty much at the top of this area right now, where Big Lug and Malleus are struggling about midway up these chains because they've gotten zapped by these electricity. So try to roll again. Try to roll and see if you can get up to the top with your.
Strength?
We'll do quickness now that you've got a good handle on it, and the water's receding somewhat.
Yep.
Yes.
4.
Come on.
11.
Yes, did it. 6.
Yep.
Did it.
Yep. So did I. 11 for
Okay.
me.
All right. All right. Yeah, you did. Well, you're at the top. You're at the top. But if y'all made it up at the top, you're having to pull yourself up into. I want you to roll one more strength because you're coming out into. You're basically pushing yourself up into a pool of water that you're in.
Oh, we're doing that again, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Nope.
So we
Not for me.
pop up out of the roof and come into a pool of water, and nope, failure.
Yeah, failure for me.
Not yet.
Okay.
Passed with the 2.
Nice.
You pass with a 2. Okay.
Yes.
Well, you right yourself, and you if you want to swim in any direction that you see off toward. Right now, you can't really discern too much about where you are. The water seems to be like nothing but a whirlpool around you, or several whirlpools, as you're trying to get away from their pool, break free, as it were. The other two, y'all gonna have to. I mean, you're trying to hold your breath, as it were, and launch down without getting sucked back down into the opening. I'm guessing, and try to get out from the pool of these whirlpools. So try to if you can breach strength. If you strength, you get away from it. But if you fail strength, you have to stay down there longer, and I want you to take a little bit of hit point damage.
Okay.
Phil,
Okay. All right.
how much damage?
Yeah.
How much damage?
Roll a d4 on that.
Oh, shit.
Failure.
Hold on. It went under my monitor.
That's a bad sign.
It skipped under my monitor. Hold on.
It's
Ah,
skipping
another
town.
one. Okay.
Two for me.
I'm slowly going down. 1. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
The,
Do I have to roll that? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if you failed it, either when you got to the top, you need to do a strength test to see if you could break away from the influence.
No, I rolled a 20.
Oh man, You get sucked out, back it down into the chain, and luckily you still have the chain that's there, but it definitely bagged you up a little bit and sucked you back down the hole. So you're still dangling in there, and you notice that the room is. You see that hammer rise right up above the amount of water that's spilled into this domed area, and it's lit, and then it disappears below the surface. It's like this room's been filled up to a certain extent. The bodies that were on the floor are now floating around, and there's tendrils of electricity jumping down to those bodies. But the water's still pouring down, filling in this room. So but you're still
back up again?
Yeah, try to roll your strength and climb back up.
Nope.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
You're still angling precariously as this room's filling up. Maybe you can ride it to the surface, but we'll go back to the other guys. Who? Big Lug's the only one who breached it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess is there any way for me to help pull anyone up while I'm in the water, or is that?
Oh, you can try. Yeah, you can try. If you just do another strength roll to see if you can get a hold of them and pull them out. If you can't, you might be, in the same situation.
I think he had to do this before.
I got a 12, so I passed.
You passed.
Nice.
Who do you want to get a hold of?
I will pull up Malleus.
Okay. Since he's hurt.
You see, he isn't looking too
Mhm.
Okay. If you pull up Malleus,
his eyes are bugging up, and his cheeks are, he's trying to hold his breath.
Malleus looks the definition of pathetic, right?
Yeah, he ain't doing too good.
No.
do this one more time to see if you can breach the surf and carry him out. Right, you grabbed a hold of him and you broke away from it, but you got to drag his butt up to the surface.
You want me to do another strength check?
Yeah, do another strength test. Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Just a base.
I failed this time with a 17.
Okay, you both been down there for a little while.
You're waterlogged, Malleus.
You diving back down there. Big Lug, take a D4 damage roll.
All right. Can I use my robust to soak 1d4?
Yeah, or maybe you're resolute. Or yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
1d4 for you, Dell, or what?
Yeah, I thought you'd taken one before, but no, not right now. That might kill you.
I rolled a 4 for the damage, and then for the soak from robust, I rolled a 3, so I take 1. Right?
Okay, 1 damage. When you breach the area, you find yourself pulling up on that sloping incline that you first entered the mouth of the tunnel, and it's all gravel and mud and muck as you pulling yourself up and dragging Malleus up out of that. Now you can see where it used to be a wall of water. It's now like a whole vortex going inside of it. So you swim up to the bottom of that vortex. This like leading deeper into the main central tunnel. But y'all just came out the bottom half of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that water's being dumped in there. Let's go back to, if you want to go ahead and try to get away, Taro, and follow suit.
6.
Roll strength.
I did it by 1.
Okay. You follow on his shoestring as you make it up. And I would suggest that you just flounder basically out there, and maybe you can pull him up the rest of the way. Big luck. Still, Cabello, you're at the bottom here. Let's see if you can catch up. Roll a strength. Let's see if you can breach. Right now, the water's about
right
at the
on
base
my
of the feet.
strength.
Nice.
7 is my
Okay.
strength.
Yeah.
Maybe because that body was bumping up against you,
You used the dead body to get a foothold, huh?
Yeah,
Anything.
there's a
Stepping on those that came before.
Captain Morgan, you're way out of there. And so when you breach, you see your comrades off in the distance, and you're in this pool of water. So try to make it out. I mean, try to roll again or whatever you want to do. Or just lay there.
What am I rolling?
Strength again.
Oh,
Several strength ticks. Try to make it out.
I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Dang.
Nice.
Well, that body
Okay.
really freaking scared you straight. So you're freaking breaststroking and dog paddling and everything you can, and he almost propels himself like a trout out before Taro's being drug out, right? So laying in a splat on that side, but all of you witness this as you roll, your backs. You see this huge vortex, this water going, spiraling down, and then at the end of it, it starts to open up. And this is important that first, when you first entered this huge opening, right behind you, that statue that is holding up that light source into like pre-offering it into the entrance of this huge opening. That you can, it's a lot dimmer. You see that the eclipse is almost fully taken over the sun, and that light source is a real dim reddish glow, a hot glow, heated glow, but it's not providing nothing, and it's almost total blackness. But you look down back into the entrance where there was vertical wall of water. It's nothing but like you're looking into like the Stargate or what have you, right?
Oh wow!
And it's like a vertical. Just use the references so we can understand it or describe it. But it's like looking into a whirlpool that tunnels out. It calms down and it starts to open up in the end of it. And you recognize, you guys that first entered that, you can see way off in the distance, and you hear, like when that opening happens, you hear that booming chorus of chants from the creatures that were on that lip. You still recognize that, and it's intoning. And it's not a monotone single chant now. It's intoning, boom, boom, and it goes from deeper to a higher pitch each time. And it seems like those same sound waves that were hitting you inside that room are now hitting you like a bazooka coming out. It is opening this water up as you stand there longer, it's receding further and further back. And I ain't going to make you stand there any longer than you need to. But off in the distance, you still see that the pinpricks of white light way down that tunnel. And then y'all, as you're laying there catching your breath, as you've suffered some stuff trying to climb out of this area, each of you roll your vigilance as you peer off down into the depths of this abyss.
10. I made it by 1.
Yeah, me too.
You made it by 1.
Yeah, I made it by 1.
Okay.
Yeah, failure.
Okay. The ones that can see this, what they're seeing is some of these lights that were there a moment ago seem to be obscured, and there seems to be like all of them bit by bit from the center to out become obscured and or disappear rather, and in its place you can see more into view this row of what I might call looks like a row of teeth across the whole entrance of this thing, right? So it starts to get closer and closer and larger and fill up this whole area to where, and you're just sitting there watching this, and this vortex is opened up almost fully, right? Before you catch your breath, and then you see these, for lack of a better word, this mouthful of teeth, this head, finally reach into that tunnel. And then you just see that chanting that was happening by all those individuals that was chained to the inside of the lip, they just start to disintegrate. And that water that had been in that tunnel, it's gone all the way down. That membrane of water has vacuumed itself in a circular motion all the way down that tunnel, almost like making it like a birth canal, so to speak, whatever, wet. And this huge thing, this monstrosity, is headed straight down that tunnel toward you and out. And that light behind you is flickering dimmer and dimmer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
in red. So you're right on this bank of that opening, right? So what are you doing?
I think we were witnessing some kind of summoning or something, or
Yeah.
oh,
What
so
are we
I
doing?
where can we go?
Um,
We turning hot-footed
yeah.
away
So
from
the
this
water,
Yeah.
vortex.
the water that drained away is this obviously the the water that we passed through in the initial opening? It,
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
was. It was just drained into that chamber, but you see that there, and I forgot to say this, but you see that the electrical currents are sparking along the inside of that tunnel all the way down it, right?
Mm.
So it's imbued the electricity inside of this, it's almost like electromagnetic, uh, to modern day representation,
And
Mm.
and
field.
when you say down, do you mean towards the entrance we came in, or towards the the direction that we went down into the
Originally, when you got there and that opening was there and you dove into the water, and I said
cavern?
that you peered down into this abyss, this tunnel-like abyss, that's what's coming up that tunnel-like abyss right now. You guys were in a smaller room cavity to the side, uh, like a power station, so to speak, right?
Mhm.
That was opening up this water valve. It was filling up and allowing electricity to flow in the vortex. And with the beings there chanting at the bottom, they're pulling this monstrosity out of the
Out.
void, so to speak, right?
Okay, so we can run. Can we head towards that
If
incline that we came up
you're
initially?
standing on the top, like right before you entered that vertical wall in the first
Oh,
section,
okay,
you're
okay,
standing there now. That's where you breached, and
okay.
right behind you is the temple and the statue and
Yeah.
everything. You're looking down that.
So yeah, so I'm going to call out to everyone down down the hill as quickly as possible.
Okay, so we're basically going back towards the ruins or whatever where the entrance
Yeah,
where we came in
yeah.
Okay.
Where the tree was.
Now-
for the statue.
Yeah. Now let's see. This thing's coming out really rapidly. Roll your quickness and let's see if you get
Oh, I knew it.
Oh boy. So we
Okay.
survive and
Failed. My
okay,
best
well,
score, and I
Uh-oh.
fail. I get all my strength scores, but I
Uh.
missed this one. 18.
Made it
Let's
8.
see.
Oh, I passed with a 3.
Whew,
Dang.
did it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You guys are scampering and jumping out of the way, but it's almost like trying to brake for a car. You get a 3-second delay, and that thing's already up the tunnel. Like a freaking freight train, the subway, and it's starting to come out, and it blows that mound of dirt that
Mhm.
was basically, providing your entrance into the tunnel. It blows it away, and your character Taro gets kind of shot out too with that debris.
Right.
In other
right.
words, you didn't make the lip
Right.
into
Before it
safety.
hit me. Sure.
Yeah, before that whole thing kind of blew out. So
Sure.
you're still going with them, just a little bit faster velocity.
That might be a good thing. You may.
What?
You don't have to do rolls.
So-
to try to get
Yeah,
you
roll.
get the roll when you hit the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So far, so good. So far, so good.
Roll a. What would you say? Some damage on that
Right.
to break your fall.
What damage?
Yeah.
1d4, just basic.
1d4. Okay.
Yeah.
This is fall damage?
Yeah,
1.
1.
Nice.
Nice.
You hit and roll and spill down like a rag doll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amongst the rest of them, but yeah, you take a little beating. And now Cabello, how's he holding up, Todd?
I don't know what
How's that holding up?
I don't know.
Did you make it? Roll your quickness and make it.
I
out
did
of the
roll
way?
my cooking. No,
Yeah,
I
he made it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bello
you
made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm the
you
only
guys
one that
happen to
fell.
make it off the ledge as
Done.
Taro gets kind of shot out. But as you're ducking off under this ledge and Taro's spilling, you could probably, as you're turning head over heels, see this as it's flying out. If you could even focus,
Mhm.
that there's this huge worm-like
Mm.
exits out of this thing. It's massive,
Hmm.
and it just takes that statue and breaks it apart. It
Oh
swallows that
no.
light source as it comes out, and just arcs through the air.
Huh.
Interesting. And then it smashes down off in the distance. I mean, this thing is like a train watching it go by,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it lands on the other side, and just these clouds and everything just off in the dive car. You just see splintered wood,
Mm-hmm.
clouds, everything
Mm-hmm.
as it just continually goes over, and then goes right down and buries itself into the distance.
Oh wow.
And yeah, after this, you know, eventually you're looking at the rubbles and the remains of that statue has been
Mhm.
torn away. Everything, the path that it led, like you could look down that path
Mm-hmm.
in the forest, and you could just tell the treetop flyer, it's ripped off the top of the trees and everything.
Mhm.
It's just gone and entered the world. And then right behind you, that opening is closing up again,
Mhm.
and to that wall of water that it was. So it's
Okay.
cycled down.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
So right there, we'll fade to black as you
Wow.
sit there.
Okay.
Nice.
That's a world changing event.
Yeah.
Nobody-
That's
Yeah.
a big snake.
Nobody needs to know that happened, right?
No.
Yeah.
We don't tell
that
any
happen?
of these stories, unfortunately. Right.
We just drink.
We
Yeah.
we just this is how warriors become drunks, right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a massive world serpent. Put it
Nice.
lightly.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Nice. Well, I'm sorry I
I'm sure
missed the
it'll be
first
fine.
session. Shit, that's good.
Well, I'm sorry. It was more like it just as a little follow up. There was some situations in there where y'all may have come up against like a blank and didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? In
Mhm.
different situations, but you always tried to plant different things. Like when John said he was going to hit. And by the way, you won't see Shig anymore. That was Shig.
It was?
Yeah.
What
was
the hell
Shig.
happened? Did he too much corruption, I guess.
Well, yeah, I
Wow.
mean, time works a little bit differently in there. Okay.
Okay.
So, but anyway, but just mechanically, whenever a goblin goes off and they spore and cocoon themselves, and either later on become a troll or an ogre, but they totally forget what happened before.
Sure, right.
Which
They're
is-
reborn.
Ah,
Right, reborn.
They're reborn. Yeah.
Shig
yeah,
was
yeah.
an abomination version because of
Yeah.
what happened was roll, because what he had in that last one, he was being chased.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Oh, and I don't
okay.
even want to elaborate on what that other thing y'all
That
turned
other
away
thing
from
was? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
will say just a very good description there
Mm-hmm.
because that creeped me out. I wanted nothing to do with that thing,
Well,
whatever it was. I
I
didn't
know,
want
I
anything
say
to do
that-
with the other guy. Well, I call him the blacksmith, but I don't know what he really was, honestly. But he was pretty
The
pretty
timekeeper.
weird. Yeah, the timekeeper. Yeah.
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 I mean, I did
so-
some world changing things there. I mean, I wouldn't tell you since I guess you guys will be continuing on, but that's what I made. And Rigel was the victim,
Mhm.
right? Well, he was an ill goblin, is what I made him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
he was the one. He was the one in the thing. Whenever y'all brought that priest down,
Mm-hmm.
he was looking for that amulet, which that was the amulet he put on the top of the that
Oh, yeah.
that
that's
marker
what
and was slamming down. And that was causing the conductivity. You see what I'm saying? To
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
create the electrical things, and that's what they needed. But
Mm-hmm.
it was the Eye of Ra. So what he was doing in that chamber was lining up the moon and the
Mhm.
planet and that Ra, that what I say Eye of Ra, but that's where I was pulling it from Greek mythology. But
Mhm.
it's Prios, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's got the Prios medallion that was
Mhm.
actually found in that in that session that you and y'all two ran, to where remember the guy had astrological charts in there when you
Mhm.
when you hijacked
Yep.
him, the archpriest.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he had got that from the Ordo Magica. When they found that in the other temple, they found that medallion, and that's what the whole deal was about.
Right.
So whenever Rigel was sending everybody out, he had been working as
Mhm.
the ill goblin
Mhm.
for that arch troll and that
Getting
other
stuff.
creature in there to
Right.
get to find these
I got it.
pieces of the
Okay.
puzzle
Right.
to bring
Okay.
this world serpent out.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
eventually,
I get
that's what the deal was. So I mean, as far as like I made the arch troll from Insanity. Y'all might have told him some kind of riddle and
Right.
bemused him, but and stopped it because I had him on a ticker because he had to do that whenever the eclipse was full.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was rushed and he would be losing his minor attentiveness and then have to go back to it.
Sure.
So if you would have stalled him off, it may have stalled that from happening.
Okay.
Sure.
But that's what the deal was. So I mean, there was a lot more, but I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine that used to run games for us, and he'd do just like you're talking now, Dale, and he'd say, "Oh yeah, but you guys missed this," and and it would drive us crazy,
No, but
we go, what?
I hate to
We missed that?
Yeah. Right.
But no,
Or,
good job. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Rigel was there over with his usefulness now that I have that piece, you know what I mean? But he'd
Yeah.
been living a high life.
Yeah.
And then, but he
And
was pressed to go up there, But
And I didn't know you literally meant Jig. I thought, just a semblance of him or something, or a remembrance of him. I didn't know you meant literally. That's wow. Okay.
well, yeah, I mean, if you want to, I know we're talking mechanics here, but like,
Yeah.
it's so funny because I went down this rabbit hole with Bridget. We were sitting there talking, and Apophis is the world snake in Greek mythology. He would go up every night and eat raw. Right? Battle them. So if there was darkness, they would be afraid the Ra wouldn't come out. So
Come back, right? Yeah.
put him as Prios, and then this Apophis is the world eater that they're trying to bring out, right?
Yeah.
And that's what the whole deal was. But
Right, that's good.
Osiris, I represented him in there. He was literally, if you walked in that room, that was that snake, and it was like an undead snake that was continually decomposing.
Oh.
And in a state,
Right.
that's why they would mummify all them.
Right.
But that's why all the goblins, it was a stasis. It's like eternality. They were in a constant state of them goblins. Everything in there was in a constant state of decomposition.
And
That's what made it.
decomposition.
Yeah, that's what made it, because it wasn't temporal time. It was just eternality. And he was essentially a lich because he had all the time in the world of working days.
Jeez,
So he's
Dale.
making, but all these, but with his, it's funny because we was talking about that Princess Mononoke, and when you see that boar walking through the woods, and this is no joke, whenever he's walking, he's decaying, and all the rebirth is coming up through his feet, right? As he's walking, because it's like represents like the cycle of life. Well,
seen that
I
in a
thought
while,
of that, but I was
Yeah.
listening to like the rules of Symbaroum or whatever, and it tripped over while I was working to where they was interviewing the guy who wrote it, one of the guy who wrote it. And he said, they asked him to describe it, and he said, actually, a German reviewer had pretty much summed it up pretty aptly, he thought, because he said it was a cross between Game of Thrones and Princess Mononoke. Because that's why I illustrated when y'all was up there about how Ordo Magica wanted to cultivate the Davokar, where the Davokar is striking back.
Right.
But I find that a little bit shallow. So I introduced, the aspects of because there's corruption. I don't really want to say that the corruption is just the wild Davokar, because there has to be a component of evil. That's why when you guys were walking up and you had to, when you bear your cross, as you say, and you get stronger through tempered by the fire, when you were walking up and all the illuminations were shining on you, and it was like a bungee, your shadow was just easy for you to crumple and fall to anything, but you got stronger and more resilient when you push back against it. And you were right, David, when you said it was holding back that force. You see what I'm saying? That's why they had to do it when Prios was weakest, was to bring that world serpent out. And that's like the king of world serpents,
Jason, when we first got there and proceeded through the temple ruins,
Right.
and first encountered that Prios, that giant statue.
Right.
We had to. There was the amulet was actually shining the light of Prios onto the mountainside, I guess, which we had to climb up to get into that tunnel initially.
Nice.
And when we walked into the light, it was almost like it was a physical thing,
Right.
It was healing us, but it also was kind of like resistant.
Right.
Causing resistance, we had to kind of push through it. So that's kind of what Dale's.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
Gotcha.
that was actually a sunstone. It was like the mother of the
Sunstone. I'm sorry. Okay.
the sunstone. But that's a whole different thing. But that's why y'all had the staff of the Sunstone, which could have aided you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you'd have kept it from the other deal. You said, I'm throwing that crap away. But anyway, that would have kind of let your way through there.
Right.
If in hindsight.
That would have helped.
But anyway,
That would have helped.
anyway, it was that willow that y'all fought. Whenever that mound of dirt, that earthwork comes up into that opening, it would have seeped and saturated with some of that liquids, which that liquid is like a well of souls. If you had which side of Sig would have looked through that, you would have seen all these bodies or all these souls, spirits floating in there.
Wow.
Right. That's why you have to roll for corruption. Right. So, but that water seeped down below that, underneath into the ground, to where that pool was, to where that willow was. That's why it was a little bit different
Jeez.
willow. That's why it gave you corruption when you first entered it. When you broke off of it, and the sap flew out, because it was feeding off that water. So anytime you get in the water,
Right.
Anyway, I could go on and on about it. It was
I give it
Yeah.
to you, man. You
Yeah, good work.
Eat very
But-
many layers and layers. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's about the only side thing, because sometimes it can be like, what do we do here? In these situations.
That's all right. That's okay.
But heck, when John said he didn't die, it's like, yeah, he's going to regenerate, because y'all wouldn't do anything. He's regenerating like 2 points around.
Yeah.
And his thing's like 9 points. You can't even breach it. As we, kick his butt out or something, or stick him in the eye.
Yeah.
So I was
that's
trying to
the
make an
thing.
Achilles heel for everybody,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that 15-footer, you couldn't beat him for nothing, man. It would have been
Yeah.
the only thing you
No.
could do was hold him off to keep him busy, where he would miss his appointed rounds of doing what he needed to do to facilitate.
Yeah, I figured it was something we were supposed to distract.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Jason, that was kudos to you, because I honestly it did not cross my mind to take the chance to try to climb those giant
Yeah,
chains
which
to
was
get out of there.
what.
Yeah.
That's what I was like
So-
dangling there.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I knew we
dangling
couldn't go
carrot.
back. I mean, when
Yeah.
John said it's all going to flood and fill up, I went, shit, we got to
Yeah.
just go up the chains.
Yeah.
It was meant to. It's like a sacrificial thing.
And
Yeah.
then John
But-
going over there or Lud going over there to actually like assist the guy a little bit. I was like, what in the heck is going on?
Yeah, I was starting to think like, am I helping end the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He kind of worried. Yeah, he had to line all that stuff up, to jump the electricity off, to get it to go, and everything. So that was
Yeah.
How
that
close
the
was
power.
Yeah.
how close was Malleus to die?
Oh, 1 point. One point.
Oh, shame.
wow.
Well,
The guy
technically,
was
you don't die. You can be. We can keep you alive, but
Yeah.
unless you're in combat,
we
we can't get to you. But
Well,
Yeah.
that-
Yeah, or he falls off the chain.
right, yeah, that's
Well,
a whole.
yeah,
Because then it's all.
that's what I
Listen,
thought
at
was
that
gonna
point, it's all
happen.
men.
Yeah.
It's all men for themselves. At that point,
when I got zapped by that spark and I rolled that D4, that was the roll, and I took 1 point.
oh no,
So anything more than that,
Yeah, and you know yourself that, I mean, some of the way it was laid out is, if y'all would have stopped that from happening and breached, then that light source would have been there as soon as the eclipse passed.
okay.
But now it's not there, so you can't
not there
regain
anymore.
your corruption or hit points.
Mm-hmm.
You're saddled with them since that worm came
Yeah.
out and ate that thing. That was what
Mm-hmm.
happened.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could have been like in the first.
Yeah,
Like y'all got
would've.
rebooted after the Willow fight. But
Well,
you're
it's only a
screwed
couple-
now, man.
It's only a couple weeks back, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Couple-
right.
that's right.
couple of weeks to the Davacar. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Anyway, we're gonna pass it over next time. But
Okay.
yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Sweet,
Oh, yeah, thanks.
outstanding, man. It's awesome.
All right.
You guys
Good
enjoy
to have
the
you
rest
back,
of your,
Jason.
Yeah,
week?
brother.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Jason,
yeah.
big
Oh,
time,
yeah.
man.
Awesome,
Thanks, guys. Had a
Thank
great
you,
time.
gents.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for
Have a
You
good
guys
playing.
take care.
All right.